So, guys, guess what?
What's up?
The NBA is back in Paris this week.
I was in Paris a year ago.
You were actually.
Very nice place.
Yeah.
So,
But they hate Americans though.
Do they? You
Yeah, I don't know why-
experienced that?
yeah, I don't know why the French hate Americans so
hate
much,
Americans.
but we love the French. The Floor
Do we,
Spacer
though?
podcast does. You might not, but like
Do
me and
we, though?
Antoine definitely do.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously last year we know the Nets and Cavs played that one game where the Nets made 4 field goals in the first half, and then the Cavs almost choked a 45-point lead.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But this year we have a back-to-back, and it's between the Pacers and the Spurs. So Victor Wembanyama playing on his home turf for the first time in 3 years. So
True home court
It's
advantage.
not
Yeah.
a bad matchup either, actually.
yeah, 2 teams on the rise.
Yeah.
With, one's got a potential GOAT. The other one's just the true power of friendship.
The
suppose.
Spurs might have back-to-back Rookie of the Years for the first time in a long time.
They could. They very well
Interesting.
could. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Point.
And
Pacers are on the rise, like you said.
yeah, you
Playoff
got
team.
You got one team that can make the playoffs. You have one team that could be a contender. So
Yeah.
you never know.
Your eyes, they're contender.
Hey, look, the East is wide open.
Yeah.
So it's very possible. Would you honestly be shocked if they got there?
I would be.
Really?
I would genuinely be shocked. Yeah.
everybody on the Pacers is back healthy besides Isaiah Jackson and James Wiseman.
And Halliburton's been playing better.
And they're going to start making, they might make a trade. Like if they get Cam Johnson, what does that do in your opinion?
Oh, I mean, of course that helps them.
Yeah.
I
course.
think it helps their bench be more depth because you have a lot of guys on your bench. You're not going to play a lot. So
Well, he's
kinda
gonna-
move
he-
off from some depth pieces that
He
you
would,
don't need.
the trade would include probably Jarris Walker and Obi Toppin.
Yeah, so that
Which
clears
means
depth.
Cam
Exactly.
Johnson would start, and then you move Neesmith to the bench, who's already banged up.
Yeah.
So that could be good.
Yeah, so you move depth and you get better depth in return.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I still stand by my claims. His team can get there.
We'll see.
He easily
I
can.
think listen, trade deadline
see.
is February 2nd. We're,
6th.
It's really 6th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, they're gonna
So that's pretty soon.
they're gonna have to get through the Knicks, bro.
They already did. The Pacers
Listen.
historically, that's the one team the Knicks can't beat in the playoffs.
If I am being honest today, they did come back, but the bench looks
Garbage.
Landry Shamet. What the hell
Hey, bro,
is he doing?
He barely got 2 minutes in any game. with
I
them.
am worried about OG Anunoby.
In terms of his,
He is not scoring. I don't know, but
Is he healthy? That's my question.
I don't know, but he's taken a massive step back from scoring, and
think
he's
he's-
he's the highest paid player on the team, and he's
Yeah.
putting 8
No, he's
points
not.
up a game.
I think Cat is.
Cat
Cat
well,
is
he's
doing
one
a
of.
lot.
He's like top
but
3.
he's putting up like 8-9 points a game in like the last 10 games.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like not even shooting the ball.
Yeah.
I should have done my.
can get into that.
I should have done my player spotlight on him. That would have been funny.
I don't know.
But look, he started off the season hot, and bros just fell off.
Yeah.
So
well, I
we'll
guess
see.
he's averaging out. So
Not really, because he's playing like ass. A lot more
was
than
playing
he was
very
playing
good, though.
But that was for only
It's-
like 2 weeks.
You know what it is? Mikhail and him switch spots.
they?
Mikhail's hot. OG is not.
Let's hold our horses. Mikhail being hot is way different than OG being hot.
Listen, he had 26 today. He was chirping to Trey, of all people.
Yeah,
Him.
but Trey literally
But-
Trey cooked his ass and called him too small.
Trey.
But who
So-
won?
Knicks won.
The
but-
Knicks
but-
won.
But Trey is a
Trey
dog.
owns MSG, bro.
Trey's Uncle Trey. He looks old as shit with his beard right now.
Yeah, Trey
He looks
is the king
old.
of New York,
He looks
without a
old.
doubt.
That's insane.
Because
Also, Quinn Snyder has bright red glasses.
he's had that for years, bro. Where you been?
I
you
I
okay?
never saw Quinn Snyder like
Is that
that.
swag? Is that coach swag?
Yeah,
has-
bro.
he has
He's got
swag.
aura. He has
He
does
aura.
have aura.
Elite aura.
He also lost a lot of weight. Wasn't
Yeah.
he heavier?
A little bit, not
He
really.
He looks really skinny.
So,
I
but
mean, he's always been kind of in shape, but
yeah.
Good
But-
for Quinn.
But not only does Trae Young cook the Knicks when it matters most, he also hits every game winner imaginable against us. So, but we like Trae. Nets fans and
Listen,
Trae Young have their mutual
good.
respect.
If you want to rebuild the team, just look at Atlanta. They're doing it right now with not moving off of like Capella, which they probably
They're
will
going
soon.
to. Yeah, they will.
When you have Landry Fields in charge, Knicks players never lose.
Okay.
So he's doing
Landry Fields has never won a day in his.
Yeah.
but he's winning right now.
To be fair, they did make the conference finals a few years ago.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
and look, I think next week I do want to talk about the Atlanta Hawks. So stay tuned for next week's episode because I have a lot to say about it.
They're under the radar cooking.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily about them in specific. I don't want to give too many details away.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that's fine.
But yeah, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 41 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Tyler Schwartz, Anthony Cavino, and Giovanni Squiteri coming at you from the studio once again. Lads, how we doing? How we feeling?
We here, bro.
We're excited for All-Star Weekend soon, trade deadline, and predictions, which are in this episode. And
Well, not predictions.
Well,
These are just
early predictions.
no, these are our
Awards.
picks of the best players from the first half of the season.
Yeah, but we're predicting where they're going to be in the awards.
Yeah.
Right, but obviously it's a combination of that and who's been the best in the first half of the NBA season. Because last week was the halfway point, which means we do give our midseason awards. We're going to do this every season. And we'll go down the list from MVP to DPOY to the All-NBAs and all that good stuff. We do have some other stuff to talk about as well. We have a trade that went down over the weekend. We'll talk about the second half of the one-seed clash between the Thunder and the Cavs. My player spotlight returns, as well as some two new controversial things that happened in the NBA across the past few days. And then we're going to talk about the recent struggles of the Boston Celtics, because it's very interesting regarding them. So if you guys do enjoy today's episode, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We just hit 4,300. Thank you all for the support as always. Discord server launching at 5K, so get us there by March. That's our 1 year anniversary. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, all that good stuff. Follow us on our socials, which is down in the description. Our personal ones are here. Get Gio to 1 million Twitter followers, Instagram followers, whatever the hell. I've lost count at this point. And I think that's all the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Laz, do you have anything to add before we kind of dive right in?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, so we have another trade. Not as big as we're hoping, which is going to happen soon, but the Phoenix Suns love making trades. And this is one that is quite interesting. I don't know why they made this trade for any reason, but we did see reports from, I think, Evan Sideri and other guys on Twitter that Nick Richards was really high on the Suns' radar to be the Jusuf Nurkic replacement, but somehow Nurkic was not moved in this deal at all, and he's still on the team, presumably not playing anymore for the foreseeable future until he is moved. But I digress. Nick Richards is now the backup center, or could be even starting soon, for the Phoenix Suns. So Nick Richards was the backup in Charlotte for a little bit, behind Mark Williams, and he was moved along with, oh my goodness, I got to read this here. So the Hornets got Josh Okogie and 3 second-round picks, 2 being from the Denver Nuggets and 1 being from the Suns. Charlotte is also sending a Nuggets 2025 second-round pick to Phoenix. So essentially a swap of second picks, with Charlotte receiving 2 more and basically Richards for Okogie. So Nick Richards made his debut on Saturday. He did have a double-double off the bench. He had 21 and 12, I think. 21 and 12 in his
Then he was steaming ass today.
Yeah, Nick Richards is a guy. Nick Richards is a guy that we saw play at Kentucky for that game when we went to go see against
Really?
Kentucky. He was a
Saw
center
that.
for them. Yeah.
Okay.
He with Maxey and
Quickly.
Quickly.
Yeah.
That under the radar team, not performing a lot better than NBA,
Yeah.
of course.
That team was not very good for
They were
Kentucky
not.
standards.
Interesting.
They were not, but now, of course, NBA
Now they're good.
made them a lot
Yeah,
better.
they lost to an Evansville team
Yeah.
that went 1-35.
Wow.
That was their only win, was against the number 1 team in the country at the time.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Interesting. I want to get into another topic later, talking about how college players and NBA players like a completely different basketball game.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that later. Keep going, Anthony, what you're saying.
But yeah, this trade, again, the Suns are depleting their draft picks and their second round picks, but you could use those down the line for moving up some spots or even more. And they're acquiring a guy that who knows if he may be there for the long haul. If they move him for Jimmy Butler, we don't know.
I mean, he's not had enough salary because Jimmy
No,
Butler
but
makes
it's a nice young piece for Miami to take back.
right. But I don't know if you would trade for him. If you're trading for Jimmy, you would have to include Nurk in the deal.
Yeah, so that Richards is essentially the replacement before the Nurk deal goes with Miami, et cetera, and on.
They were playing Plumlee as the starter until Nick Richards was ready. I think he started in the game he had the double-double in. And
I don't know. Okay.
Nurkic is not even in the rotation anymore. He's like the 12th man.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, like I like Jusuf Nurkic, but
I
like bro's ass. Like
He fell
I'm
off
sorry, bro fell off.
Yeah.
And
massively.
it just kind of is what it is. And as far as the trade goes, this is Matt Ishbia. This is his bread and butter. Just deplete your assets entirely and you overpay for a bench player. And a bench player that has not played meaningful basketball at all in his career.
Yeah.
I mean, any meaningful game the Hornets have played in since the LaMelo Ball era, they've gotten blown out in the play-in tournament. So it essentially just doesn't make sense. And if you're thinking about it from Matt Ishbia's perspective, you have Devin Booker as your homegrown star. You trade 4 first-round picks and 3 swaps for Kevin Durant. So you've already gotten rid of your entire future as far as the rest goes. Then you get rid of even more of that. You get rid of your point guard, the guy that was elevating everyone else on the floor around him and getting your guys paid, as well as your first overall pick center for Bradley Beal, one of 2 players currently in the NBA that's on a no-trade clause, which is still, I don't know why Washington did that, but for a guy that did the same thing as Devin Booker. See, what made Phoenix work was having a point guard. And I'm not just saying a point guard because Tyus Jones is not it, but an actual good point guard. Say what we want about Chris Paul, him not getting it done in the finals and everything like that. He was what that team needed. And they needed a playmaking point guard. And I just think they bit the bullet in the wrong way. So now you've gotten rid of pretty much everything because obviously you lost Chris Paul and Ayton in the Nurkic trade and whatever else came in. You lost Mikal and Cam Johnson in the Kevin Durant trade that originated, and then everyone else around just kind of fizzled out. And now you're here with your big 3 who are getting more and more disgruntled by the day, and you have 2 vet minimum players next to them in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
That is Matt Ishbia, and that's why he's not a good owner.
Yeah,
And
I
I
agree.
think that's why the Phoenix Suns are going to implode this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I don't understand why like Ayton had to go. I mean, he could have improved a lot with, I guess, Bud coming in, or even a Vogel if he stayed there, because Vogel kind of got scapegoated out.
Yeah.
And Paul looks great, and look how Stephon Cass is performing in San Antonio, Rookie of the Year right now. Barring if Jared McCain did not get injured, it would have been him.
Yeah.
But Castle now looks phenomenal. Is starting in San Antonio with Chris Paul beside him. And, San Antonio is in a playoff play-in spot pretty much. There's like 4 teams on the cusp.
Yeah.
But there was nothing wrong with that Chris Paul, Devin Booker, KD. If they would have stopped at KD and kept Ayton, Paul, a lot of more money for wiggle room, their rookie Ryan Dunn looks phenomenal.
They have positives.
As a draft piece. But now your draft picks are depleted for a good foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And, with no draft picks, there's no trade you can make on draft day itself to make other moves. Of course, they could reacquire them by trading Bradley Beal. If you acquire Jimmy Butler, it's kind of probably a swap between contracts. But there's no guarantee Butler will resign in Phoenix.
You're
taking that risk without him, unless he does say he will resign, then you're perfect.
You'd have to have the trade happen now because Butler's off the books in the summer.
Yeah.
And Beal would have to approve it, but it's not going to happen because Miami wants no part of Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
So
Nobody.
Bradley Beal having a no trade clause essentially traps him there.
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant's got no patience for this shit anymore. If he doesn't see any future with this team, he's requesting out. This is why the Rockets got the picks from us and gave us our picks back. Because we're fine. We have our own future to worry about. We're good. Now, they're in a good situation where they can get into the playoffs this year. I think next season, you look for a trade for either Booker or Durant, and you're fine. And, I liked what Minnesota did with their point guard, barring, I know they're having a rough season, but losing Cat, this was supposed to happen. I think they were ready for this. They were prepared for it. You had a Mike Conley that's aging and not as productive anymore. You draft the heir to the throne and Rob Dillingham. The Suns either should have done that or they should have just traded for a point guard instead of getting Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this whole thing, Gio?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's tough, man, when it comes to the owner of the Suns, because if you have the chance to get Kevin Durant, you get him.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you have to give up. You have to get Kevin Durant.
Right.
when
I
you the
have no
chance,
qualms about that.
But where he messed up was with the whole Bradley Beal thing. That's the issue. And the issue is him just trying to throw together a bunch of players that have no business being together. So that's the issue with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of thoughts on the Rob Dillingham thing. I can get into that.
Go for it, yeah.
I think it's his time to shine.
Yes, sir.
Now.
Yeah.
Starting now.
He played well today.
Yes.
He had
Rob
good
Dillingham.
minutes.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, it's fair. So this trade, I mean, I wouldn't really call anyone a winner because
No one's a winner with this trade.
Josh Okogie's going to not play. It's just Josh Okogie in 2025. There's not really much else to say about it.
Yeah.
The Suns look doomed.
Yeah.
you're gonna have to attach picks to Nurkic to get him off the team.
At least Grayson Allen looked like Michael Jordan with that one reverse layup.
Yeah, you'll get that one little moment
That
every
one
now and
moment,
then.
you know.
Listen,
But-
the Suns' formula right now is bad trades and bad contracts.
Yeah, they gotta get Kevin Durant and Devin Booker need to free themselves, and Matt HBO will you'll get a good return for both of them, so he won't have to worry about it. But you still don't have your draft picks, and well, that's where the Rockets come into play. So hopefully they can save them.
Yeah.
But
We'll see.
yeah, but we shall see. But let's move on to the next segment because we saw the second half of the Cavs Thunder matchup. We saw the first game was probably one of the best games in a very long time. So Antoine, how was the second game?
This was a Thunder blowout, but the Cavs did put up a fight in the fourth. They outscored them by 17, but it was not enough. The gap was already
even close.
so massive for OKC.
That was a fake
I'm
ass
giving
comeback.
them some praise, okay?
Don't give him no praise, bro.
But I turned this game on, and I glanced at it, and I was like, oh, I'm changing the game. It was like 105 to 77. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, never mind, I'm changing the game.
Yeah.
But just the lopsided, the Thunder came ready to play, and now it's even. It's 1-1, of course. And like the star of the game showed up, SGA.
Yeah,
That's the story.
what do you have, like 35?
He had
or something?
48
3
assists.
quarters. Yeah,
And of course, Lou Dort showed up, 6 threes, 22 points. The bench, Kenrick Williams gave him, Brandon Carlson gave him 11, whoever that is. Caruso and Isaiah Joe, 12 and 10.
Nice.
Jalen Williams, the star, not Jay.
call him
Not
J-Dub.
Jay.
J-Dub and J Will. That's how they
J-Dub had
differentiate.
19, 6 and 5, 3 steals, 2 blocks. And then on the other side, you have Cleveland. It was really because Garland and Mitchell did struggle shooting. They missed a combined. Actually, no. Garland was pretty good.
Yeah, Garland was the best player on the floor for the Cavs. that night.
Mitchell was off, and then Mobley didn't really score much that game. And that was really the story of the game, you know. Just, I guess, no scoring from Mobley, and Mitch was off, missed 12 shots.
Yeah, the Cavs are just off.
It happens.
It seemed like one of those scheduled losses. It just happened to be against one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
It just seemed like the vibes were not there. This game wasn't as highly as anticipated because the first one had so much hype. So I don't know. It was really weird.
I think the Thunder got it, bro. They got that dog in them. The Cavs, I don't sense that dog from the Cavs.
I do. I still do. I still sense that dog in them. They just we didn't see the dog. We didn't see the dog in the Thunder in the fourth quarter in the first game.
Yeah.
Listen,
They capitulated in the fourth.
another thing, the Cavs are in on Cam Johnson as well.
They're the
So
favorites to get him right
if-
now. Also, move your mic up.
That's scary.
I know it keeps
Yeah.
falling. If any one of these teams, either OKC or Cleveland, acquire Cam, I think that gives them a little bit of an edge. If they do play each other in the finals,
Not
I think
really.
another shooter benefits either team.
They both have good shooting all around. They don't need
Yeah.
Cam Johnson. I
Yeah.
think a team like Indiana or Sacramento would
Yeah.
benefit more.
I hope Cam Johnson goes to neither OKC or
Yeah, I agree.
Cleveland.
I think his role
They don't
decreases.
need him.
His role
massively.
won't.
For
His role
sure.
won't decrease. It'll be the same as he is in Brooklyn.
It's just I don't know.
It's just
They don't need him.
They don't need exactly. They don't need him because
Yeah.
you already have Lou Dort and J-Dub playing the
Great.
role perfectly, and you already have. You mean the Cavs could upgrade on Isaac Okoro? I do think him or Johnson's better than Okoro and Strus.
Yeah.
So it would be an upgrade.
Slight-
But you're getting rid of bench depth. Like Karis LeVert's gone. He'll come back to Brooklyn again.
You need Karis LeVert, I think, for the playoffs. If
I
you're
think
the
you do,
Cavs,
yeah.
Yeah, you
need
do.
Karis.
You do. We saw him in the bubble against the Raptors. He was
Yeah.
phenomenal. Last year against the Magic, he was great.
Yeah.
So
Can carry a game for you.
he can.
I think they'll make minor deadline moves. Like if somebody comes available that's a nitpick bench guy that's going to give you valuable minutes, of course you're going to take that chance. You're not giving up much.
Right.
But big market names, I think they're kind of set with what they have.
fine.
They don't
The
need-
Thunder
they don't need
could
anyone.
upgrade a little bit.
The Thunder don't need it either. Both teams.
depends.
Like you were saying, I think if the Pacers or another
Yeah.
team, what was the other team that you proposed?
Sacramento, but they're not really a
Sacramento.
contender. They're playing well right now, but we'll see what happens later on. But
Yeah.
What about the Nuggets?
too much money. You have to part with MPJ.
Yeah,
It's not worth.
not realistic.
Yeah, but I do think the Thunder, I think, need the move over Cleveland because the West is a lot tougher.
Okay.
And like I said, I need to see from both Donovan Mitchell and SGA that they can step up in the big games in the playoffs.
True.
So we'll see
They
if
have a
they
lot to
both
prove
can.
to both of them.
Exactly. Donovan Mitchell's been piss poor against the Thunder in both games.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a cause for concern.
Yeah.
However, there is a high likelihood if they do make the finals, they probably won't have to play OKC.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think the Thunder are Donovan Mitchell's kryptonite because Lou Dort is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
They're
torture
kind of built
chamber.
the same. Yeah, Dort is insane.
Yeah.
Like
Listen,
they're
He's a little
built the
thicker.
same.
He's a little thicker.
He's a little thicker, but that's
Yeah.
scary, and he
Yeah.
can move just as well as Donovan Mitchell. So it's like you can't body him a little. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man, it's
Dort,
those-
Yeah.
Dort just shake.
Because it's so windy out. There's like a draft probably.
Yeah, it might be from.
By the way, it's like 9 degrees right now, guys. So
It's fucking cold.
Yeah, it's
like,
freezing.
excuse my French, but it's cold.
Listen, this is a matchup between the coach of the years because we're
No,
thinking Kenny A is going to get coach of the year.
Dagnall's not getting it.
No, Dagnall last year.
Oh, you're
Kenny
talking
A
about
this
winners.
year.
okay.
Yeah, Kenny A's
These
the
are
favorite.
these are the back-to-back.
Hey, look, we'll
coach
get
of
into
the
that
year
later.
winners.
We'll get into that later.
later.
We'll get into that later.
Hopefully. But
But-
listen, I think that these are the two. I think Cleveland
I hope
and
Cleveland falls off.
Boston are
Why?
kind of neck and neck. Why? I'm talking.
I'm sorry.
Why
I
does
just
he want
Cleveland
Cleveland to
fall
fail?
off, bro.
Why?
talking.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
I think Cleveland and Boston right now are neck and neck. I think either way it goes. I think OKC has an edge over Memphis and Houston just because of depth and maturity. I think the Memphis and Houston are a lot younger. Also, Houston does have some injury issues right now. as so does
OKC's young
Memphis.
too.
They're all young.
Their whole core's like under 26.
I think their bench guys are a little more
You're looking
better.
at, you're looking at Caruso. That's about it.
Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, other Jalen Williams,
Yeah.
Kendrick Williams. Those
But
are all little vets.
A little bit, but
really.
but also keep in mind too the Houston's about to go through a gauntlet of a schedule. They have to play Cleveland twice. They have to play a bunch of those teams.
This means
Don't be
big
surprised if the Nuggets are the 2 seed by the All-Star break.
Let's go.
And then they're back in the conversations.
Let's go.
And you're talking about Jokic. I think Jokic could take down all of them.
Wow.
So
Are we talking about a Jokic MVP?
He is.
Is that what we're saying?
could be.
Are we saying
Find
that
out
Jokic-
later on in
Jokic
the
MVP
episode.
Listen,
Push?
listen.
Find out later
listen.
on.
I am a Nuggets fan because Melo played there. I had a Sky Blue Melo jersey, so I am a Nuggets fan like all of
Can
you.
you stop the cap, bro?
He's capping so hard.
I'm so tired of the
I
cap,
am-
bro.
so
I
tired
am
of the front row.
I
You're
am
like act like Mikal Bridges.
Bro, you
I
literally have a
am
New York
a-
Yankees shirt on, bro.
I am
Stick with
a-
New York, bro.
I'm a backyard Nuggets fan.
That's wild. He's a
With
closet.
Melo.
I mean closet.
Yeah.
You're
so-
a New York fan, bro.
Yeah, you're a New York fan.
All right,
said,
that was a
okay.
good two. That was a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, he already know. He already knows the Nuggets have a much better shot than the Knicks this season. But
Listen, they can only meet in the finals. So if they get there, I'm more than happy if they lose to Jokic.
that's fair enough, I suppose. It is the best player in the world. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens regarding these two teams. They both have stupidly high ceilings, and they could both fall off. We never really know.
Let's go Westbrook.
Let's go Westbrook. So, on that note, let's move on to the next segment. All right, welcome back to Tyler's Player Spotlight. This is where I talk about a player that has either been playing extremely well or is playing absolutely garbage. So, think of it from Jokic level to Mikal level. So,
McHale is insane.
abso-freaking-lutely.
He's been playing good lately.
But is 26 points in a game still worth 6 first-round picks? I need at least like a 50 burger.
Come on, bro.
Like, come on.
I'm gonna be
I don't
living
think
that
anything's
down.
going to be worth that much.
Look,
I'm gonna be living
Look,
that down.
it was really funny because I think it was Mark Stein posted on Twitter yesterday that
Really?
Cam Johnson, the Nets are looking for 2 first-round picks. And one of my reply went viral because I said, for those thinking that it's an overpay, just remember the Knicks paid triple the picks for a worse player. So just keep
Yeah.
that in mind.
That's crazy
It's
work.
not wrong.
So
Crazy work, bro.
So yeah, obviously I give these guys 3 questions concurrently to try and figure out who we're talking about. Obviously you guys are going to know because it's in the chapter below. We put all the timestamps down. So we take a little too long with the questions though. Last week it took us 7 minutes to get to the point.
Oh.
So let's try and narrow this down a little bit faster.
Okay.
So ask the first
Just
question.
guess it right away.
Is this a player that's doing well?
Yes, it is.
I know who it is.
Okay.
All right.
Is this a player in the Eastern Conference?
It's not.
Do you know who it is?
Is this a player for the Portland Trailblazers?
It is.
Yo.
I know who it is.
Go
You know
for it.
why? Because I've been looking at Portland's box scores, and this man has been cooking, and we've been waiting for it to happen. And the player is Scoot Henderson.
The player is Doo-Wop Scoot Henderson. Yeah,
Nice,
let's
bro.
go.
Okay.
Shout out my guy Doo-Wop Reith, though. I love Doo-Wop Reith. But we're going to talk about Scoot Henderson. we started questioning if he was a bust.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to put it on him yet because he's only in his second year now. So just for context, third overall pick, was supposed to be the second pick behind Wemby, but I think the Hornets just needed a forward. That's why they took Brandon Miller. So yeah, obviously in his last 4 games, he's averaging 25 points, 8 assists, 1.5 steals, 57% from the field, and 55% from 3 on 7.5 attempts a game.
Wow.
So three-pointers are just nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll read you just his stat lines from the last 4 games if you want me to. 25, 7, and 8 against Chicago. 21, 5, and 11 against the Rockets.
With 3 blocks.
Yes, with 3 blocks. 16, 2, and 6 against the Clippers. And then 39, 8, and on 72% from the field against the Brooklyn Nets. I want to be happy about that performance, but y'all lost the game to us. Like, we're trying to tank here, man. However, we've been tanking beautifully over the past few weeks. Like, we got swept by the Jazz.
Nice.
We lost to like all these ass teams. It's great. We've
job.
lost like 2 and 9 in our last 11.
Nice.
It's amazing. So, anyways, aside from that, last 4 games, 101 total points. So already get your Wilt Scoot poster ready. But look, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. And I think we've been a little unfair towards Scoot Henderson just based off of the situation he was in. Because you rewind back to 2023, Dame was hurt for the entire season. Portland was awful. And a lot of rumbling went down as to if they won the lottery, Dame stays. If not, then he goes. We all knew this would happen. And I think it doesn't really take much of banging 2 brain cells together to say that they gave the Spurs the lottery. I mean, I think if you don't believe that, then I don't know what to tell you. But you know, the Blazers were 1 ball away from getting Wemby. Pause for certain context, but that essentially got him out the door. They wanted Dame gone because they wanted him to go to a big market, and I'm very glad that he went to a smaller market.
Yeah.
So that's one end of the spectrum. So now you're a Scoot Henderson. You're a top 3 pick, one of the best prospects in the class, arguably the best prospect not named Wemby.
Right.
So a lot of pressure on you, especially filling the shoes of the greatest Blazer of all time, undoubtedly. We could all agree on that. So it's hard for him to adjust. And we've seen with these G League Ignite players, it's really tough to adjust. We really haven't seen many good G League Ignite players. None of them have been All-Stars yet. So I think the best we've seen consistently is Jonathan Kuminga.
I mean, they're all very young, though.
They're all very young, but at the end of the day, there's American players, there's players that went to college in the States that have already been All-Stars. Like, Wemby's going to be an All-Star in his second season. He obviously is from overseas, but you know, you got guys in their 3rd and 4th years making All-Star teams.
You're also selecting from a much bigger group of players coming from college.
Right. You're playing
the majority of the pathway.
Right, because you're playing against college kids. These guys are going to be in the NBA. In the G League, you're playing against NBA rejects, essentially.
Right.
So it is what it is. But Scoot was struggling mightily. And his first year was just awful. He got benched. He got sent down to the G League for 2 months.
Yeah.
So I felt bad for the kid. I really didn't want to call him a bust as of yet. Because you need to wait for him to get to the end of the contract
Yes.
to call him a bust.
Right.
And look, one stat this season, he's had 5 games in total this season, scoring 20-plus points. 4 of them have come in the last 10 days.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the improvements he's made because the first time he scored 20 points, he shot 7 of 18 and 0 of 5 from 3. So it was very inefficient throughout that. And he's just been finding it. I think he's been above 50. He's been above 50% from the field. So he's being efficient, especially from 3. From 0 to 55, that's a huge leap.
Very good. Yeah.
So really happy for the kid. And I think it also, being in the same class as Wemby also put high expectations because to most casuals, this draft wasn't good. It wasn't good compared to last year, but it was a good draft. We have some good prospects that'll turn good later on. But last year was touted as the best draft class since 2011, since 2003.
Whoa.
So, I mean, come on. You got Wemby, Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson, both the Thompson twins. Like, a really stacked draft class. So, that's essentially that. So,
Yeah.
I'll chuck it over to you guys. Let's start with you, Gio.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Scoot Henderson's play?
I have a question for you guys.
Yep.
Were you wondering how
Why
I
do
knew
you-
it was him?
Well, yeah. I mean, that was pretty crazy guess off the bat. I mean, you already explained yourself. You said that you saw the box scores, you saw him popping off and all that. So now my question is, why has it taken him so long or this long to begin to start getting the feel of the NBA game?
I think Tyler nailed it. I mean, I was gonna say Amen and Asar, but they're from Overtime Elite, and they're also very different than how Scoot, Kuminga, and Jalen Green, who was just named Western Conference Player of the Week. So
Yeah.
Jalen Green, I think, is
popping
the
off.
best right now. And it's not Kuminga, but I
Yeah.
digress. I think
Okay.
they're both
I agree with
amazing
that.
I think
at their different things.
I said consistently from draft day to now.
Yeah,
Kuminga's
I
been
still
way more
say
consistent.
Jalen Green.
yeah,
No, because Kuminga was getting All-Star votes last year.
Yeah, but
Like,
if we look at averages, I'm more of a stat guy.
So, right now, Green and Kuminga are in their best years. Kuminga is going to be RFA at the end of the year. We'll see what happens with him.
yeah.
Scoot, he just turned 20.
yeah,
And Buzelis was the last guy from the Ignite
Fantastic.
this year.
Because they folded.
They folded.
Because the difference between G League Ignite and Overtime Elite, G League you're playing, like I said, against the NBA rejects. Overtime Elite, you're just playing against each other. And these are all prospects.
So,
interesting.
of course, we know Buzelis is really touted, but he hasn't gotten a chance yet, which he'll probably have soon.
Yeah.
And he'll probably follow with that same thing with Scoot. Maybe next year he'll pop off because we know probably the Bulls will move off Levine, Pat will, Vooch. Buzelis gets in the starting lineup and will start to improve more.
Right.
Like
Right.
Scoot will. Scoot, listen, he's only 20. You can't write him off after his first year. We knew that potential he had, and now the past 4 games, even though 3 of them were losses, the numbers look great. He's putting almost triple doubles together, like 25, 7, and 8, 21, 5, and 11. He's shooting the ball really well. There are some like doinkers here and there with no points, 3, 2, 9.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wasn't getting he's getting 30 plus minutes in the past 4 games. The games he got, those games were below 30 minutes.
So wait, are these 4 games for Scoot? Is this a fluky
No.
stretch for him, or is this the Scoot
I mean,
we're gonna see
the
going
Rockets.
forward?
The Rockets is a good matchup.
I mean, it could be,
it could be.
but
I think it's fluky.
I don't know. Because if
But
you look
they're-
at the opponents he was playing against, I mean, you got obviously the Rockets, who is one of the best teams in the West right now.
Right.
You have a Clippers team that's exceeding so many expectations this year. Chicago is just a good play-in team in the East. And then you got a Nets team that, yes, we're tanking, but we're a tough out. So outside of that game against the Clippers, because that was ridiculous. But I think 4 worthy opponents for Scoot to kind of is a broad spectrum from bottom feeder tanking to play-in to playoff team to potential contenders. I'm not ready to put the Rockets there yet, but for argument's sake, you can make the argument for it.
The thing with the Blazers as well, they have depth, and their depth is majorly young. You have a backcourt of Anthony Simons and Shaden Sharp that are starting right now. Scoot gets in some of those games as well. You also have guys like Delano Banton, who are performing really well, but is getting bench minutes. Denny Avdia can play some shooting guard here and there.
He's more of a forward.
He's more of a forward, of course. But, you have Anthony and Shaden Sharp starting.
Those are the main guys.
Those are the main guys. Unless you trade Anthony away, Scoot gets into the point guard roles, keep Shaden at shooting guard,
that will happen.
which will happen
Because
eventually.
Shaden, we can confidently say Shaden Sharp is the number 1 option on this team. Shaden Sharp is the best player, and he's playing beautiful basketball.
You would hope that the Blazers move off of the old guys, i.e. DeAndre Ayton, maybe Jeremy Grant.
DeAndre Ayton is not that old, bro.
He's not, bro.
He just looks like he's old. He
Okay,
looks like he's like 45.
but you have Donovan Clingan. That's your franchise
He's a
center.
good player. He's a good player.
You move off Rob Will. Of course, you need Rob Will.
Yeah.
Matisse Thybulle could maybe get moved off, and you keep all your young guys, your draft picks, and you just throw a team like the Wizards are right now and see what you got.
Yeah, get Thibault to a contender. But
I agree with that.
I'll close with this because after their game against, I think it was Houston, they interviewed Scoot Henderson. They asked him what the key was to his offensive leap. He just said, I'm just going to keep attacking. I'm going to do what I do best. She said, what's that? And he said, a dog. And he's a dog.
I like that.
So hopefully this is a big confidence booster. I think that's really the key for Scoot.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Is just being confident and don't just chuck up shots just to chuck up shots, because you know what? He's 20 now. He was doing this as the same when he was 19. He was doing this just like Jason Tatum. He just chucks up shots. Now that he's older than Jason Tatum, he's realizing drive to the hoop.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So
Yeah.
Listen,
that's essentially the Scoot
Yeah.
thing.
Scoot is gonna be, he's 20 right now. I'm gonna give it to the end of his rookie deal. We're gonna be putting him in the same breath as Trae Young and John Morant.
Whoa.
Oh, that's a little ambitious. That's a little
Okay,
ambitious.
so
Oh,
we're gonna hold
pick up
you
your
to
mic.
that.
I think we'll be putting him.
No,
I don't
like
think,
raise it.
He's not gonna be better. He's gonna be in the same breath of potentially getting to Trae Young and John
I
Morant.
hope you stand on this, bro.
Stats.
Please stand on this.
Stand on this.
I
Because if
love-
you're right about this, this is huge
No,
for you.
I'm
Yeah.
This is revolutionary
a
for
big
Anthony.
Scoot fan, and listen, I look at the box scores every day from every game because of course I don't watch Trailblazers,
At least watch the highlights because the box
But-
scores only tell you so much.
but I've been seeing Scoot pop off, and I'm shocked because I'm like, Scoot's getting 30 plus points. This is
Right.
rare.
yeah.
Right.
So I'm keeping
Enjoy it.
tabs. I'm like, I want Scoot to start because he should
Yeah.
be starting. Anthony Simon should have been traded a long time ago.
I think the main thing for this is what you said, Tyler, the confidence that he's gaining from playing well. That's going to do wonders for him going forward.
Listen,
Once you realize you're him,
Yeah,
you have that moment of realization, like Austin Reeves against the Grizzlies.
exactly.
That moment when he popped off in that fourth quarter,
Yeah.
that sent him on. That's why he's playing
Yeah.
as good as he is now.
His confidence is through the roof now.
I will stand on his Scoot talk, but if he does not stay consistent,
He's
I
there.
will backtrack off of that.
Don't backtrack.
He's already given himself the safety net. No, I'm not allowing that. I'm
But-
not allowing that.
But
No way.
I am very high on him. I think he's going to be
Bro.
phenomenal.
So then stand on that, bro.
Stand on it, bro.
You just got to let him thrive. You know, like I said, Portland right now is a young team that's rebuilding. You
he
want to get
needs
off
more
the dead
opportunity.
weight, which is the guys that are on the big contracts, which
Yeah.
is Grant, Ayton, presumably just those two guys.
Yeah,
And
it's just those
You want to just rebuild with the core.
Yeah.
And Scoot is probably the face of the core.
And give him more opportunity. Give him a chance, you know?
Exactly.
That's all he needs.
Exactly.
So, and we'll see what happens with the
see.
Blazers going forward. There's a lot of different directions they can go in, and Mike Brown's available. Just gonna put that out there. Just Chauncey Billups is not the guy for the future. I'm sorry. It just is what it is.
Great guy, great player, coach.
Great guy.
Knicks legend, Chauncey Billups.
Did he even play for the Knicks?
I don't even think he played for the Knicks. Did he?
Are you guys really don't know your history
I'm kidding, bro.
What year did he play for the Knicks, though?
with Melo and JR?
Yeah, he played for them.
Did he actually?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it was like a year or
A
two.
year and a half. Yeah.
Or,
He came off the
Okay.
bench.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not a Knicks fan, so I can't really incriminate myself. So I think we should just move on to the
Yeah,
next
let's
segment.
move. Let's move.
All right, into the next segment. It's been a while since we've gotten into some controversial topic, some
Love it.
controversial dialogue. I got
Let's
two
get
stories
spicy.
to talk about.
Yeah.
So two spicy stories in the NBA, both happened within the past 48 hours. So it should be very interesting. So are there anything for y'all to say before we get into the first one?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I haven't told
actually
these
know
guys.
what
I
it
just remembered these things happened about like at 4 p.m. today, and I was like, we should probably add this to the show.
Let's do it.
So, all right, we're going to go to a press conference after the Dallas Mavericks game from 2 nights ago. I forgot who they played, doesn't really matter. But Kyrie Irving was talking, and they asked him about the Nets-Mavs trade that went down 2 seasons ago when Kyrie requested out after Joe Tsai would not give him a contract extension, and the Nets traded him to Dallas for Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, and I think 2 first-round picks. They asked Kyrie his thoughts. He said, and I quote, "Best trade in the business, baby. We won that trade. We won that trade. I was bad goods." Now, obviously, I'm a Nets fan. I will save my opinion for last. So should we start with the rival fan or should we start with the neutral?
Wait, what? I'm still confused on
He
what's
said
going
I
on
was
here.
bad goods.
He said he was bad goods. So,
like,
you know how when remember when Jamal Murray tore his ACL
yeah.
and he was crying on the bus talking about, well, you guys going to trade me? I'm damaged goods.
Damaged
Yeah,
goods.
he's damaged goods.
Kyrie wasn't damaged goods. He was bad goods in the sense that he got suspended by the team
Right.
for the Amazon video.
Right.
And he's obviously, there's a bunch of stuff that happened with Kyrie regarding the COVID vaccine
Right.
and just not being at games, the personal
Yeah.
leave he took. That's kind of what he meant by he was bad goods.
Right.
So I want to
So
know.
wait, can you repeat the situation?
Yeah. So basically, Kyrie and Joe Tsai, the Nets owner, did
Right.
not like each other. There was clashing. They totally did not agree on any sort of stances.
Right.
So that created beef. They only tolerated Kyrie because Kevin Durant was there. Kevin Durant was the real reason why. So essentially, Kyrie made his comments saying that we won that trade, best trade
We
in the
meaning the
business,
Mavericks. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to know your thoughts on what Kyrie said, on the thought of who won the trade, and thought of just from the Nets. So should we start with the rival fan and Antoine, or should we start with the neutral fan and Gio?
You want to go first? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
We'll start with the rival fan. Antoine, as a Knicks fan, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I mean, what did the Nets get in return?
DFS, Kyrie Irving. I mean, DFS, Spencer Dinwiddie, two first-round picks. I don't know if any of those picks transpired to be anyone yet, but I do know we wound up getting we got D'Lo back, technically, and we got Dennis Schroeder, technically, because we traded Dinwiddie to the Raptors.
Okay, well, given the situation, what was going on there, I would say the Nets win because they get the first-round picks. Well, they both win. The Nets get the first-round picks, and they get off of the drama. The Mavs win because they get Kyrie Irving. They go to the finals. They get one of the best players to help with Luka. I don't want to say Kyrie was damaged goods because he still performed at the same level he did on the Mavs.
Bad goods is a key difference.
Bad goods.
Bad goods.
But he was bad for the Nets, but not for the Mavs.
Yeah, but he was saying he was bad goods on the Nets, which is why they traded him.
Correct. So, yeah, I guess meaning bad goods because the relationship with Josiah was bad, but he also could have improved it with working with Josiah.
He could have.
But he didn't.
He probably didn't
and
want to.
It was a whole issue with the vaccinations and everything. It was already a bad thing in itself. So
Right.
I agree with him that it was probably the best decision to move on to Dallas. But I think the Nets did win with first-round picks, of course. They didn't win with – they did lose because they're not in the playoffs, and the Mavs are in the playoffs.
Right.
The Mavs probably won a little bit because they acquired an all-star
I think Mavs
Hall
win.
of Famer for pretty much nothing. DFS, Schroeder, 2 first-round picks is not much for them.
Well, Dinwiddie just turned into Schroeder.
Yeah. No, they didn't lose much. They didn't give up Luka. They didn't give up any
Why
of
would
the
they
young guys.
Why would they give up Luka?
You never
Luka for
know.
Kyrie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You never know.
That trade could have been made like 8 years ago, but
Yeah, they didn't deplete anything, and they still got a good draft pick in Derek Lively.
Yeah.
So
they went to the finals.
They didn't
Yeah.
get back.
They would not be in the finals without Kyrie. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
I think Kyrie's statement is valid.
Yeah.
I don't see any wrong.
You know, I wonder what Kyrie's tone was because I didn't hear how he said anything.
I basically gave you the tone. The way I read it was basically the tone.
So
was
mention
very-
the part where he said bad goods. Was he like sincere about it, or was he more like sarcastic?
Kyrie's always sincere. He always says it how it is.
Kyrie's a very layered person.
Yeah.
Very layered, very onion-like.
Yeah.
You got to peel it back. But
Pause.
I wonder what his tone was like, though, for real. Because
I can send you the clip after we're done.
Send me the clip. Yeah.
But do you have any thoughts regarding?
No, I mean, like I said it already. Mavs win.
Yeah.
They got the player that helped them to go to the NBA Finals. NBA Finals is a W. Not only, I mean, you didn't win in the finals, but still,
You got there.
you got there.
At the start.
Exactly.
Considering they hadn't made it there before.
Yeah.
We did not win that trade. It was not even close. We got rid of a Hall of Famer, multi-time All-Star, All-NBA, and Kyrie Irving. The best offer came from the Clippers and the Lakers.
Yeah.
Where the Clippers offered us like a bunch of assets and picks. The Lakers offered us Russ and I think like a couple other pieces. But Josiah didn't want to send Kyrie to where he wanted to go. And this is where I got a lot of flack from Nets fans because like I'm a realist. I'm not really someone that tries to I don't create narratives. I don't really try to bend the knee like the way most people do. I just say it how it is. Kyrie was not liked in Brooklyn by the organization. Kyrie is a very eccentric person. He is a very layered person, as you said. And everything, behavioral patterns and stuff, that comes along with it. And for the Nets, they made that sacrifice because they had a close partnership with Kevin Durant. And that was all that mattered. And, at the end of the day, I'm glad Kyrie was able to get himself out of there because it wasn't working.
Yeah.
There clearly was a disconnect between the Nets and him.
Yeah.
There was a disconnect between the fans and him.
Yeah.
And
What side do you take?
I'm always on the side of the player because the player got mistreated here. It's very rare when I take the side of a team. We're in a player empowerment era, and with Kyrie specifically, it's like I like Kyrie. I loved him on the Nets, and I still miss him every day.
Yeah, he's
just seeing him go off in the fourth quarter when he gets a crazy reverse layup, it's just like, man, we had that, and we just gave him away. We really just gave him away, and I wish things worked out. But I'm not saying Kyrie's faultless in all this. Kyrie's had a lot that he should have done better. So there's a bunch of different aspects to it. But at the end of the day, what Joe Tsai did essentially got him out the door. When he was suspended, he gave him a list of things to come back. And that's just very belittling. It's very degrading. And it just is what it is.
So Kyrie pretty much said, no, I'm not doing this. Get me out of here.
He essentially did it, came back, and then they wouldn't offer him a contract extension.
Wow. Okay.
And he went. So that's basically what it was. I made peace with it because if I continue to be upset about it, I'm just going to ruin my mental.
Yeah.
I was more upset about the KD trade because that just was random at 1 a.m. because Kyrie requested out and got traded 3 days later. So
I also feel like Kyrie, I don't know, I feel like he belonged in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like his whole vibe is just like a Brooklyn. Like, I don't know what it is.
Like when Stephen A. Smith always said that KD and Kyrie should have went to the Knicks, they're not Knicks guys. They belonged in Brooklyn.
Yeah, specifically Kyrie.
KD said it himself. Well, Kyrie was a Nets fan growing up, but KD said it himself the other day. Like, he fucked with Brooklyn. Brooklyn fucked with him. So Kevin Durant was crying in his Phoenix Suns press conference when he got traded there.
For real?
He got emotional. Yeah. He loved Brooklyn. He didn't want to leave.
That's crazy.
And low-key, I think this opens a door that KD could return to Brooklyn at the end of his career.
That's crazy.
Which I would love. I would love to have him. I don't care if we don't win anything. I want to see Seven hoop again, man.
Yeah,
I
because
need him back.
When KD announced it on the boardroom, which was his Twitter, his company, Kyrie was gonna follow wherever he went.
Really?
That was a package deal.
Yo, they're like this.
Yep.
I didn't realize. I mean, I knew they were tight, but they're tight.
They're tight, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Wherever he went, Kyrie was going to sign ASAP.
exactly.
And then DeAndre Jordan came as well.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
they took just less than a max, so DeAndre Jordan can get the 40 mil guaranteed.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But
awesome.
I've made peace with it. I'm glad I'm surprised I made peace with it because I thought it would still bother me, but I just get sad seeing it sometimes because I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, we'll
Damn.
see.
So, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah.
Are we ready to get into the other one? Because this one's a
Yeah.
doozy.
I don't know.
Get
what
into it,
this
bro.
is.
So the other night, the Golden State Warriors played the Washington Wizards, the Jordan Poole revenge game.
Oh yes.
And a tweet from Mark Spears went up on the timeline saying, it was a quote about Jordan Poole on his Warriors teammates. And he said, I love those guys over there. I love most of those guys over there. That's one thing in and of itself, because we all know who he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then we saw a reply on the tweet from @Money23Green saying, I really am sorry.
Oh, wow.
Draymond finally broke his silence about this situation on Twitter.
Wow.
So I will go to you first, Mr. Warriors hater. You.
I did not expect this.
What are your thoughts on this?
No, this is crazy. This is crazy because I did not expect this coming from Draymond Green. And the emotion I just had for Draymond Green,
Are you about to cry?
like, I was touched by that, bro. Draymond said, I really am sorry. That's how he, like, that's it.
That's what
period.
That's
Like,
what he
that's
typed.
it.
I really am sorry.
Bro. That, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's sincere.
Do you need a tissue?
You might have to get me. Do you have tissues in here?
No, we
I
don't.
don't know.
Anyway.
But listen, I know exactly what that is.
What?
He's maturing. He realizes that maybe that Warriors team is better with him on it because he sees how he's hooping in Washington.
I don't think he's even concerned about that. I think he's more concerned about the person of Jordan Poole himself rather than the hooper, Jordan Poole.
I wouldn't say it's more.
I think both.
I think it's both him and Jordan Poole, because on one end,
I think it's person to person, man to man.
right, man to man, because at the end of the day, you punched your teammate,
Right.
ruined his mental. That's why he played so bad the season afterwards, because
Right.
not only are you dealing with that, you're still playing with the guy.
Yeah.
And you're trying to keep things civil. And for Draymond, he's a guy that's garnered such an awful reputation over his career, and something like that,
Yeah.
that's like the most flagrant, in my opinion, it's the worst thing he's done in his entire career.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And, it was a spur of the moment thing. He just got really heated.
Bro might have CTE, bro.
Oh, it's clear he does.
That's crazy.
But I never thought we would see him apologize on social media like this.
I'm actually
Crazy.
very surprised. And honestly, my hatred for I don't even want to say hate.
I never
'cause I don't
hated-
like using that word.
I never hated Draymond.
But if I hated anybody, it would be Draymond. But I
Kevin
don't
Durant?
hate anybody. Let's put it that way.
Not Kevin
okay?
Durant.
Nah.
What he did to Russell Westbrook?
That's just soft, bro.
Okay,
but we'll get in. That's a whole
Yeah.
other conversation. But, yeah, man, my hate for Draymond Green, it's not there anymore.
Wow. I'm
not there
shocked.
anymore.
Is bro becoming a Warriors fan?
I'm definitely not a Warriors fan. Far from that.
I don't know.
But Draymond Green, I don't know. I feel like he's been growing on me.
Thing is,
Just understanding him as a person.
I've-
He has a podcast now, right?
Yeah, the Draymond
He's
Green
always
show.
had it.
Exactly. So I mean, just watching that more, seeing his personality, I have more respect for him, even though he's still insane.
Here's my thing. I love Draymond. I've always liked Draymond. I thought he was a funny guy, one of the best defenders we've ever seen in the NBA.
Yeah.
I just never liked the way he handled stuff. I hated his antics, and to me, it's just like Draymond had the potential to be one of the most loved players in NBA history. But unfortunately, the things you do on the court when it comes to sucker punching Jordan Poole, sucker punching Yusuf Nurkic, putting Rudy Gobert in a headlock for him trying to break up a fight.
I'm not against that. He can do that.
Okay, that's just wild behavior. To him just getting as many techs and suspensions as anyone else.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the stuff that happens.
And
And
just kicking multiple people on the balls too. You forgot that.
oh yeah, poor Steven Adams, man.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 times, bro.
But I think the thing with what made this situation so bad, I think Draymond realized at some point the domino effect that it caused. Because for those that don't know, for those that don't pay attention very much to the NBA, for any casual viewers, the Warriors won the 2022 championship. They don't win that championship without Jordan Poole. His play in the second round and in the NBA Finals specifically carried them through because Steph went nuclear in the conference finals. The Mavs had no shot. But Jordan Poole was a difference maker for the Grizzlies. He was a difference maker in the finals against Boston. I mean, he dismantled that defense with his play off the bench.
Yeah, he was.
And going into that next season, the punch happened in the preseason, right during training camp. And
Forget the situation.
it was just random. It was
Random?
it was like a disagreement maybe in practice. They really didn't say much to each other, and he just hauled off. And Jordan Poole's mental went down the drain and just played awful the entire season. He chucked up a half-court shot against the Lakers in the playoffs with like 10 seconds left. Like it essentially threw the game. And at the end of the day, the Warriors were not going to choose Jordan Poole over Draymond because of the 2 timelines debacle they're in.
Yep.
And they trade Jordan Poole. And, I think if Draymond never punched Jordan Poole, the Warriors easily could have reignited that dynasty.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not saying they would have won the championship because the Nuggets were insane that year, but the Warriors could have been contending last year.
Yeah.
They would be contending this year, and it's a very big domino effect because if Jordan Poole never got punched, he would have taken an even more lead.
you think so?
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
You never know. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be like, because I don't know. Some people are saying he's like the next Steph Curry. He's
I don't
gonna
think
take the keys.
I don't think he's the next Steph Curry.
I wouldn't say that either.
I think he could have been. He would have been like a better Jalen Suggs, offensively.
Yeah. He's doing good. Give him props. He needs
Yeah.
to get out of purgatory in Washington now. He needs to go to a contender.
They're building that team around him, so they got to trade the pieces around him and start. Because you got Alex Sarr now,
Yeah.
who's playing a lot better than he was at the start of the season.
Yep.
You have good foundation pieces in
do.
Bub Carrington. So
But
Bilal Coulibaly.
Bilal Coulibaly is one of the most underrated players right now.
I have
Yep.
no idea about him.
Defensively,
Yeah, he's
my
good.
God,
Really?
he is putting guys in hell.
Okay.
So,
Bilal
you'd
Coulibaly.
think Bilal Coulibaly would be good considering he played with Wemby in
Yeah.
Mets '92. So,
Yeah.
they have a promising future. They just got to get off a freaking Carl Kuzma.
He's French, Bilal.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's French.
they have and Sar's French. So they
Yeah.
just get off.
They're building it.
Get off of Carl Kuzma because bro is garbage.
And
Yeah.
Valanciunas.
Yes, get off of
Kuzma's not.
both of them, and they'll be okay.
Those are not the guys, man.
But that's essentially my 2 cents on both situations, especially the Warriors end, because that is a real big what if.
Oh, of course.
Because Draymond changed the entire course of the Warriors franchise with one singular fist. Pause.
Wow.
So,
That was a catalyst moment.
really was.
That was a destiny shifter.
Yeah,
Crazy.
You can't predict the punch, but okay.
Crazy.
it really was, though.
Things happen.
So, do we have any final thoughts?
No, I think you guys nailed it on the head. I think, it's a big that happening. I mean, the same thing happened with Rudy Gobert and his teammates, but he wasn't pushed out of Minnesota.
Also, no one likes Rudy Gobert anymore.
Okay.
But unfortunately, with especially like Golden State, with Draymond, Poole unfortunately got the brunt of it, even though they just signed him to that massive extension, and was well deserved.
Yeah.
At that time, Draymond should have put his own side and just was team first. If it was team first, he still would have been there, of course.
Yeah,
Right.
but Draymond goes off
Draymond
instinct.
is not team first. In that moment, he was not team first.
He was CTE first.
Draymond he went in full fight or flight.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's an unfortunate situation because at that point, the Warriors had extended Draymond, then they extended Poole, and then they extended Wiggins.
Yeah.
And Wiggins really hasn't been the same since that either. Obviously, he went through a lot of personal stuff with his family, but, there was a bad vibe with Wiggins, Kuminga, Poole with Draymond because obviously they're all close. So it's kind of what it is. So we'll see what the Warriors do. They got to figure out this 2 timeline shit because it's not working. Yeah. They either got to just move on or figure something else out.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next segment. All right. It's a new day. We're back in the stew for day 2 of the pod. That was bars.
Hey, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. You know that Flight calls Max Strus Dr. Seuss?
That's pretty funny,
Yeah.
actually.
I believe it. Yeah.
So every time he makes it 3, he's like, he had his green eggs and ham today.
Yeah.
So,
I need to watch more.
But yeah, obviously, I think we talked about it in the intro. We were recording at like 9:30 last night. We were exhausted, so we only did about half the show. So now we got the other half today.
Yeah.
And we're obviously going to talk about the Boston Celtics and the NBA awards. However, on the way here, some news dropped from Shams Charania that the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns made a trade. The Suns traded 1 first-round pick in 2031, which is the most favorable one that year, in exchange for 3 first-round picks. So this means that the Suns are stockpiling assets to go and get Himmy Buckets, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. You just hope Beal's included in that deal. And you
what's up with us rhyming today? Sorry.
Yo, we're on
Beal
it
is
today.
included in that deal.
Beal deal. Listen,
good job.
that's the only thing I would think. I mean, I guess he kind of gave them a gauge of what they would want if they were to take back Beal, and if he does waive, he probably would waive the no trade clause for Miami.
It is one of the 5 teams he would waive it for.
You have to give him a lot of picks. That's the only way because they're taking on more money that he's making than Butler because, of course, he'll be off the books. We'll see. Maybe they just want to do something else, maybe not get Butler, or maybe just keep him. We'll see. I don't know. But I think majority think it's going to be Butler regardless.
I think they're going to use it for multiple things, to be honest. I think they're going to get rid of 2 in a Jimmy Butler trade because I know Miami doesn't want Bradley Beal. However, Bradley Beal would want to go to Miami. So how do you remedy that? By doing an extra favor by giving them the 2 first-round picks.
Wow.
The other first-round pick is going to be used alongside Yusuf Nurkic to get him out of there.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to wind up happening.
Yeah.
So, and I know some people might be thinking like, oh, why did the Jazz do this? The Jazz are going to be, this was a good trade for them. Because in 2031, the Suns are going to be garbage. And
Correct.
It's the most favorable pick of the Suns, Wolves, and Cavs from the Donovan Mitchell trade and the Rudy Gobert trade. It was a weird, complicated summer of moves. And, Cleveland will be done by then. The Suns will definitely be done. It's really just a matter of Minnesota. But I think the Jazz will be in good position to get a good pick. So,
yeah, exactly.
and never question. I've learned to never question a Danny Ainge move because he winds up proving everyone wrong in the end.
Yeah.
We'll
Plus,
see, man.
He still can move guys such as Colin Sexton. Marketing, most likely not. He'll be there.
He can't be traded until July because he signed the Supermax.
I think Sexton and Collins are the first 2 on the chopping block just because the contracts and they're older.
I'd throw Clarkson in there too.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he's there.
He's on a good deal. He's only making like 14 mil.
Yeah. They can easily get back 2 first-round picks for all 3 of those guys.
Yeah, I think so. It really depends on their value at that point because if one of them's an expiring, you're not going to get a first. You'll get like 3 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Utah's young core is building up
Yeah.
slowly.
So, and we're recording shorts here tomorrow. So hopefully a Jimmy Butler trade happens so we can do an emergency episode so we can upload it
emergency
as just
segment.
its own thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could be kind of cool. But
Yeah.
we'll kind of leave the trade talk at that because this episode's going to be long enough. And, it just happened. There's no real substance to it. So, Antoine, let's talk about a team that is in the doldrums right now, the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, so right now Boston still looking pretty good. 30-13, sits second, of course, behind the raging Cavaliers that are just running away with the East currently. In the last 10, the Celtics are 6-4, not their best, but they've been a little lackluster, i.e., a loss to the Bulls before the new year began, a loss to the Sixers on Christmas Day, a loss to the Pacers before New Year's Eve, and going into January, a loss to the Thunder on the 5th, and then a loss to the Kings on the 10th, a loss to the Raptors on the 15th, a loss to the Hawks on the 18th. It looks like right now they're kind of in a win-loss, win-loss, win-loss type of formula right now. Not really getting a long streak going, which is prototypical Celtics because they're always going to be on the high win percentage. Just the thing I've been seeing with them, I think their depth has really been a little bit of an issue besides PP. Peyton Pritchard. That's our sixth man of the year.
I thought we left that in 2024. I guess not.
PP is going to be our sixth man of the year.
It's not
most
my sixth
likely.
man.
Oh.
It's not my sixth man. We'll get into
We'll
that.
get into that, yeah.
No, you failed miserably.
Shut up.
But I think the major thing I've seen is that last year's Finals MVP is kind of having a lackluster year.
That's a little generous, to be honest.
I think the big thing is Jaylen Brown. I've not seen any highlights, moments that we've seen previously. And I think that's the main thing. I think Tatum's doing his best because, of course, it is his team. But I think Jaylen Brown is getting a little championship hangover.
That's fair. I mean, when you win a championship, you're playing way longer than everyone else. You're playing up until the middle of June. So you have a shorter turnaround in the off season, and it's guys get banged up the season after winning a championship. I think he's missed some games due to injury, everything like that. And it's normal. That's why we see a lot of times teams that get bounced in the first round wind up winning the championship the next year because they're refreshed, they're ready to go, they're done in April. There's nothing really else for them to do. And if you look at the Celtics the past few years, they've been in the conference finals and the finals since 2022. So they've had these short turnarounds every single season. And I think it's finally starting to catch up to them now that they're all a little bit older. But I mean, specifically, I want to talk about the stretch from January 5th to January 20th, not counting the game against the Warriors because the Warriors are butt juice right now. So that game just kind of inflates the stats. So let's talk about that specific stretch. They were 3-4 in those 7 games. In those 7 games, they had a 110.8 offensive rating, which is 23rd in the NBA in that stretch. A humongous fall off just for one of the best offenses in the league. They still had a top 15 defense, but when you have a negative 0.9 net rating and almost -1, which is I think bottom 15 in the NBA, in that stretch alone, that's not good if you're trying to win another championship. And we've seen defending champs in the past few years play better than this. So it's a little interesting, but the recipe for the Celtics to winning is 3-pointers. And from 3 in the past 15 calendar days, they have been beyond dreadful all across the board. I mean, their attempts have gone down from about 51 to about 43, and they're 29th in that stretch in 3-point percentage at just under 30.9%.
Interesting.
And if you look at their main guys in the rotation, Peyton Pritchard, 33%.
Oh, wow.
Drew Holiday, 32%. Sam Hauser, 30%.
Wow.
Jason Tatum, 28%. Jaylen Brown, 23%. And Derek White, 19% from 3.
Wow.
That is disgusting.
Surprising.
From the Boston Celtics, a team that almost broke the 3-point record in a single game on opening night. So, and all of these guys are averaging anywhere from 4 to 9 3-point attempts per game.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue, in my opinion, for the Boston Celtics. And we're starting to see them call some audibles, I guess, as you can say. Like Jason Tatum's starting to pump fake and drive. Like I almost fainted when I saw that. I literally I was taken aback.
Yeah.
But this is pretty bad.
Yeah. I'm curious as to why has their 3-point shooting in terms of the attempts that they're taking, why has it dropped significantly since, everyone's been talking about how they're shooting so many threes.
I think it's because they're missing a lot of them.
Okay.
So
do you think it's also they're hearing the noise of like the fans watching the NBA saying like, stop shooting so many threes? Are they hearing that, or
they don't care.
They don't care.
No.
I think this team is just gassed from last year. Also,
Is that what you get when you watch them? Like that's what it's giving.
I don't think they want it as much anymore. I think Tatum wants it.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown probably is a little unmotivated right now just because of not. He still probably has that Team USA thing in the back of his head.
Maybe. But that should motivate him more.
Yeah, it should.
It should, but other guys take it differently. That's
I don't know. I think Jaylen Brown's that type of guy.
Yeah.
He should be. Yeah, I would think he should use it to fire him. But Team USA has to play for another 4 years.
Well, they play in the World Cup every other year, so he'll probably be on that team. But for
Not if he keeps playing like this.
well, yeah, but I mean, for Boston, it's like I don't necessarily think it's that they don't want it. I just think right now, I mean,
They're just not focused.
They're just not focused because I mean, can you blame them really? Like going into the season, there was no one, and I mean no one on their level in the Eastern Conference. They could have just coasted through the regular season and easily just walked to the finals. When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Cleveland pops up and just goes on an absolute tear. Now you got some competition. You got Orlando heating up. You got Indiana heating up. The Knicks are kind of there and then not there. It really depends on what they want to be. Same with Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So really, you now have anywhere from 3 to 6 teams that have gotten a lot better. Even Detroit's gotten significantly better. So they're a team that could easily, if Boston's not focused, they could easily get caught off guard in a playoff series, especially if they're just going to jack up all these threes. So I think you're starting to see them kind of lose focus of their goal. They have to understand the assignment, and right now they're not.
What do you think about how? Because when you're focused for an extended period of time, it starts to dwindle a little bit. Your focus starts to dwindle. That's just naturally how it happens.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Maybe they're in that mid-season, just sort of going through the motions, and then towards the end of the season, they start to ramp things up again, lock it back in again, so they're ready for the playoffs. Do you think that's something that you can intentionally do?
I think so.
Okay. Do you think that they're doing that?
Well, here I'll kind of compare it to what Denver did in 2023. The West was not as good as it was, like in the same position as the East, because in 2023 the East was the superior conference. I believe the top 4 seeds had a better record than the entire West, but Denver was playing great. They had the 1 seed throughout the entire season, and then they kind of locked that up early, and then they started losing focus, kind of tanking games they shouldn't have. I know they lost to us after we traded Kevin Durant, and then a bunch of hate in the media started, like, oh, this team's not good anymore. They're a fake 1 seed. A lot of people picked the Wolves to beat them in the first round as an 8 seed, and a lot of stuff like that. And that stuff ignites you. Right. And at that point, they were healthy. They were ready to make a push at the playoffs, and they just ran through the league. So I think Boston is in an easier situation, whereas the East is a lot worse than the West was that year. And we're talking about a crisis. They're still 31-13. Like, that's still a ridiculous record. But when you see signs like this, a hangover is possible, which means they could easily drop a playoff series. Right. Which in turn puts the East wide open. Yeah. Hence why I still think the Pacers can make the finals for that very reason alone.
Yeah.
So that's kind of think of it like a staring contest where right now the Boston Celtics are at that point where their eyes are starting to water from being open so long. Okay. They're trying not to close it. Yeah. Because once you close it, then it's done.
Well, I think they need to blink. So, and I think that's what this is. They need to blink. This is their blink, right?
Yep.
They're resetting, and then once you blink, you get reset, and then they turn it back on. They can lock back in again. So,
exactly.
I think this right here is their little blink season.
That may have been the best. That may have been the best counter analogy I've ever heard. That was good.
Thank you.
I'll give you props for that. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's kind of the main gist of the Boston Celtics. I don't really think there's much else to it. I mean, at this current day, right now, January 21st, 2025, at the time of recording, do you think the Boston Celtics will go back-to-back and win the NBA Finals this year?
I do.
Right now you have them winning.
I do.
No.
I think they're going to turn it back on.
I think they're going to turn it back on, but do I think they can win the Finals? That I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're forgetting how insane they were last year.
Oh, they were great.
They were
And
insane.
they did most of it without Tingus Pingus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So right
If
now,
everyone's healthy, I think they do it.
I have to give the credit right now to Cleveland as far as the Eastern Conference goes, but I do it would not surprise me if the Celtics wind up going back to back.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah,
We're not shocked at that.
no,
But what is your prediction, though?
you have to pick one.
If I'm putting Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics, Cavs, I think Celtics take that in 6 or 7.
Oh, so you
And
agree with
then,
me.
wait, finals.
He's probably gonna have them lose in the finals.
If we're looking at healthy OKC in the finals and they're hungry team,
Yeah.
that could be easy wraps for the Celtics, I feel like.
I don't know.
Nah, not easy because the
I don't know.
Celtics got some dogs, too, on defense.
They
just
do.
like the Thunder have.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we'll see what the
I don't know.
Celtics do. They can make little micro moves at the deadline or in the buyout market for anyone that could work. But I
Yeah.
think as for me, I still am going to say no, that they won't win it all, but they can. So I think my finals prediction from the early season is slowly starting to come back to life because both my finals teams are starting to play better now. And they both
Which were
the Nuggets and Pacers.
Nuggets, Pacers.
Nuggets could eat.
Interesting.
Nuggets
could
could
you
eat.
imagine?
Could you, if I predict that, I'm
We
playing
all had
the lottery.
Nuggets.
Nuggets, Pacers would be insane.
We all had
I'm not
it.
even
I
gonna
know,
lie.
but like Pacers, though.
Yeah, I know.
That would be a very ethical finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great, but that remains to be seen. But lads, let me ask you one final question. Are we ready to get into our midseason awards?
That's two.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go, baby. All right, into the main segment. Guys, we have hit the halfway point of the season, which means it's time to reveal our 2024-25 NBA Midseason Awards. We're going to do this every season, like I mentioned in the beginning, and a lot of people do this, so why not hop on the train as well? So we're going to go through all the awards. We'll do our awards, then our All-NBA teams and all that stuff. To what we think. It's kind of a combination of who we think will win, but it's mainly about the best players from the first half of the season, from October 22nd to now. So are we ready to dive in?
Let's go.
All right, so on the screen right now, you'll see our other overlay. I have like a blank table. You know, it's on the screen, right? So basically how we're going to do this is basically like our predictions video. One person's going to headline each award. They'll read off theirs, and then we'll reveal the other two, and then we'll deliberate for a few minutes, and then we'll move on to the next one and everything like that. So I don't know who was up first for this, so we'll just have to click next and on the slideshow because I have it for a monitor for them. And are we ready to get into the first award?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So first up, we have the MVP. So Antoine, you are headlining this one. So just for the Spotify people as well, do you want to just read off from first to third of
Yeah.
your award winners?
Should I go 3 to 1?
I'll go 1 to 3.
1 to 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so the favorite right now still is Jokic, in my opinion. I think SGA, of course, it finishes off in second, and then Giannis easily can go third. I think Shea and Giannis will switch back and forth depending on how their season goes. But I think Jokic is the lock for 1, and that's how it's going to stay.
Surprised.
Really?
I really am. I got SGA, man.
Yeah.
You
and
just gave away your picks.
Yeah, I mean,
It's okay. It's coming up soon.
that's true. But I actually have the exact same 3 as Antoine.
Wow.
So I've also gone for Nikola Jokic at 1, SGA at 2, and Giannis at 3.
So I have.
I appreciate Gio's outlook. I think Shea could get it if the Thunder win, but it's still regular season MVP.
No. Look, listen. I think the what's that? The storyline is on SGA's side, and I think storyline is everything when it comes to MVP. Obviously, Jokic is the better player.
Yeah.
And this season, he's the better player, but it's all about storyline. So that's the reason I have SGA winning it. And then you also see in the bottom of my list, I have Jason Tatum.
Yeah, why is Giannis
third.
Why is Giannis out of top
Listen.
three?
Yeah, that's confusing me.
Listen.
Okay.
So this is why I expect the Boston Celtics to win.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be a late season push for Jason Tatum and the Celtics, and he's gonna catch fire. The Celtics are gonna be locked back in, and so I have Jason Tatum at 3.
That's fair.
I don't hate his 3.
I still think Giannis should be.
Giannis, yeah, it's tough to leave Giannis out, but I wanted to be different, you know.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I
s-
think it goes either way.
I still can't get behind SGA as the MVP. I still can't. Because one, Jokic is going to catch up to them in the standings, even if they don't. If Jokic finishes as the 2 seed, I think he'll easily win it still. With SGA, I think he's having a great season. I think as far as box plus minus goes, I think he's having the 9th best season of all time. As far as box plus minus goes, Jokic is having the best season of all time. So there's still levels to this. SGA is also second in the league in free throw attempts, I believe. And I know he said in the press conference, I don't need free throws. Well, clearly you do because, like, you know. And I also think SGA's supporting cast is a lot better than Jokic's. Jokic is having to carry a lot more with less. So,
Yeah.
and I think also single-handedly changing the narrative on Russell Westbrook is a huge reason he should also get it.
I wouldn't credit Jokic with 100% of that. I would also credit Mike Malone and the Denver system that they run over there. But, of course,
Jokic is the system.
Well, yeah. You could say
So
that.
he is the system player.
By the way, we can't.
Oh,
Yeah, he went to sleep.
Oh, okay.
oh,
So we're
his
good.
computer went to sleep. That's
But
why.
yeah, so I wouldn't be totally mad if he won the MVP, but I do think Jokic should win it,
Okay.
and I think he's been the best player in the first half of the season so far.
I agree with that. I just don't think he'll win.
So, and I don't think Tatum. I would put Tatum in like 4th or 5th.
4th, 5th, okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's on the same level as Giannis,
Giannis.
especially right now with the Celtics slumping a little bit.
Yeah.
Tatum shooting below 30% from 3.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
We'll see.
It could switch.
It could.
It
That's
could.
why I expect the Celtics to come alive. So
Okay.
That's fair. So, any final thoughts on the MVP?
No.
All right, let's move on to Rookie of the Year. I believe I am headlining this one, and I am. So in first, I have Jalen Wells.
Wow.
In second, I have Stephon Castle. And in third, I have Alex Sarr, who is growing on me rapidly.
I have the same 3 as Tyler. I have Castle over Wells, but it was a really tough pick and choose between both of them. I think they both could win. It just depends who's going to be, I think, just favorite overall. Castle I chose because of how San Antonio looks right now. Memphis, I think, would have looked good regardless without Jalen Wells. But he was a second-round pick, and he's in the rotation, so you got to give him props. And Sarr has rose up the rankings in weeks.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously that's more in part due to the injury to Jared McCain.
Yeah.
The only reason why I have Wells over Castle, both, I mean, first of all, the Grizzlies are 3rd in the West, so they're obviously doing better as a team. And if you take like context into things, like Stephon Castle's playing next to Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama, so they're obviously 2 great players to make you look good. And obviously, I think he's naturally a great player. But if you look at the situation Jalen Wells is in, the Grizzlies have dealt with a lot of injuries amidst the good start. And this is not a good Ja season. He's not playing great basketball. And I think the way he's been able to step up and put together consistent minutes and productive minutes, I think he's been the best, most consistent rookie in the class this entire season.
I can use that same argument against Jalen Wells because Ja hasn't had a good season. Maybe that provides more opportunity for Jalen Wells, to play well.
Yeah.
And Stephen Castle, you have Chris Paul, who's one of the most ball dominant players, that you've seen. He's and rightfully so. He's a great player.
Right.
But that means Stephon Castle is going to have the ball significantly less.
Right.
So if Stephon Castle didn't have Chris Paul on that team, I would expect Stephon Castle to run away with this award.
That's very fair. Do you want to read yours, top 3?
Yeah, so I got Stephon Castle at 1, Alex Sarr at 2, Zach Edey at 3.
It's a base pick.
Very different.
He was my preseason pick. If he was
Yeah.
healthy the whole time, he probably would have been number 1 for me.
Yeah.
But Jalen Wells has been way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate the E-Day pick at all. I think he's going to be fantastic there. And Memphis had a really good draft, as we can see. 2 of their guys are in our top 3.
Yeah.
So I think E-Day could be it if he gets a little more, I think.
Edey.
Yeah, it's Edie.
E-Day.
Edie.
I
Where do you see an A?
I spelled it
Edey.
Eddie. I spelled it Eddie.
Eddie.
Zach
Edey.
Eddie.
Zach Eddie. It's like
listen,
Edie's
double
ice
E.
cream.
I think he's going to be phenomenal in the league.
Yeah.
Just got to, for his height, got to work on his
Mobility.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he's a project pick.
Yeah.
And that was what the Grizzlies took him for.
I think he's Wemby's worst nightmare.
Wemby cooked his ass the other
Yeah.
day.
There's
So,
no way Edey is stopping.
Yeah.
He's not quick on his feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and also we got to give a quick props to Alex Sarr because
Yes.
I mean, bro was garbage in the first month of the
Very.
season.
Yeah.
He's picked it up massively.
We were saying bust.
yeah,
we-
I was saying bust, but
No, I was saying bust.
okay, fair.
Maybe
Yeah.
not you guys, but
He looks great. The box scores look a lot better.
Yeah, was he averaging like 11?
He's like 11 and 10 every
11,
game,
10.
a little more.
Yeah.
Solid.
But
On a Wizards team that is in
yeah,
crisis.
they're picking up with their rookies and young guys. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So, all right, that was Rookie of the Year. Let's move on to DPOY. I believe, Gio, you, my friend, are headlining this.
Yeah.
What do you have here?
So I got Victor Wembanyama at number 1, Evan Mobley at 2, and Dyson Daniels at 3.
I love the Dyson Daniels pick. What made you put him in your top 3?
Look, I just want to give one of the smaller guards, not small, because he's kind of a big
He's
guard.
6'8", bro.
But I want to give a guard. Let's say that.
A point of
I wanna
attack
give-
defender.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to give a point of attack defender a shout on this top 3. So that's why he's in there.
Look, man, I totally agree because I also put him in my top 3. I have Victor Wembanyama in first, Dyson Daniels in second, and Evan Mobley in third.
Nice.
In my opinion, I think what Dyson Daniels is doing is the most impressive. I think it's even more impressive than what Wemby's doing, but the stats don't lie with Wemby's like almost getting quadruple doubles with blocks and steals. I think he's had like 3 or 4 5-by-5 games. So I kind of had to give him the nod because he's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see when voter fatigue will catch up to Wemby with the DPOYs.
Yeah.
That makes me curious. But
Probably like number 4.
right. But forget about me. Forget about you. I really want to know Bro's thought process here with this. You want to read your top 3 and explain yourself, sir?
We got Mobley, Vic, and AD.
Look, listen, Anthony. You know what? I'm not
AD
against AD being in the
is
top 3.
taken-
But number 1 is crazy.
Yeah.
I think Vic can easily topple AD. I probably should have switched Vic and AD. I thought I had Vic first, but I guess I didn't. But I think AD's still, he had the fantastic start to the year. I think he'll finish top 3. But if I thought I had Wemby first, it should be Wemby first, but I think I put AD first instead.
Yeah.
I think Vic probably will get it. AD, I think, gives it a good shout if they do pick it up in the season. Like I said, there's half a season left to go. LA could pick it up easily.
Right.
Mobley, I was even tempted to put Mobley first.
Me too.
I think it's really close between all 3 of them.
I wanted to put Mobley first, but it's Wemby's to lose, and then I just wanted to show some love to Dyson Daniels.
Yeah.
I had to.
I think Dyson's top 5 finish as well. He can get into top 3 as well.
It depends because it's very rare a point of attack defender gets a finalist for that award. It's typically just big men. So
Hopefully.
it most likely, I think Wemby and Mobley are locks as far as top 3 goes. It's really a matter of that third spot. I don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Could be anyone. There's like maybe 8 different players it could be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is the DPOY, the DPOY, the best defender in the NBA.
All right.
Are we ready to get into the next award?
Let's do it.
All right. Antoine, I believe you are headlining this one. This is the most improved player. So what do you have here?
Ooh.
Read your top 3.
I was very tempted to put Cat first, but looking at Cade's season, my God. Complete 360 from him. He looks like the number one.
180.
180.
I think 360.
No, actually, because he's always been playing good. So it is like a 360. Just the team did a 180.
Yes.
Yeah.
But listen, he looks like that number 1 overall pick, and it is been a massive improvement. He's almost averaging triple doubles. We've seen it this year a few times. So easily, I think it's him. I forgot who we had before Cade popped off for most improved. I think Dyson Daniels was in that conversation.
It was between RJ Barrett
Yes.
and what's his face, Jalen Johnson.
They fell off a little bit.
Well, Jalen Johnson got hurt. RJ Barrett kind of regressed to the mean a little bit.
Yeah.
But do you want to read your top 3 for the Spotify listeners? Because you never did it.
Yeah, so Cade is first, Cat is second, and of course Mobley is third.
Yeah, I think Evan Mobley's a great pick for this. I don't think I put him in my most improved because, in my opinion, I think there's 2 other players that are better as far as like having a bigger leap. And I think I can't put Cat in the most improved conversation when he was an all-star last year.
Yeah, it's hard to do that.
It's hard to do that.
Even
Where
though he is having an improved season.
he's having an improved season on the offensive end. On the defensive end, he's having a
Regular.
he's declined since last year defensively.
Okay.
That's because he's playing the 5 now, and there's no big man to hide him behind. So that's essentially that. So do you want to get into our picks, Gio?
Let's go.
All right. So let's read off yours first, Gio, since you got the man of the hour in here.
Oh, Lord. What are you cooking up over here?
I don't-
What the hell?
Okay.
What the hell?
So I also have Cade Cunningham winning it. And then I have Austin Reeves at number 2. and R.J. Barrett at number 3.
Listen, I think, I don't know if you've caught on to our podcast lately, but we've talked about this 2 months ago. I think you need to catch up to us right now.
What do you mean? The R.J. Barrett trade?
RJ?
No, I think the RJ Barrett pick is warranted. I think he's still up there.
AR is a good pick.
The AR pick, that is the most recency bias pick I've ever seen in my life.
I love Austin Reeves, bro.
Yeah, but I can't.
fine.
You can't say that like 7 games.
I know.
Gets him runner up and most improved.
But look, he has improved so much in the last 7 games.
Right, but it's the whole first half of the
All right,
season.
bro. Well, listen, this is my projection.
Okay, fair.
I'm projecting him to be
not bad.
just a huge improvement the rest of the season.
It's understandable.
He can make a late push.
He can.
It's possible.
He very well can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think Tyler's list is the most logical one.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I have Cade Cunningham in first because I have brain cells. Tyler Hero in second, and Jalen Johnson in third.
Yeah,
So-
I think Hero's case predominantly becomes better with Jimmy Butler leaving in the trade deadline.
Even without Jimmy Butler,
Yeah,
because he's
I
been
think,
been the number one option.
Yeah.
Because Cade and Tyler Hero, well, Cade's going to be an all-star. Tyler Hero, I don't know, but they both could easily be first-time all-stars this year. And lately, that's what gets you the award. We've seen it with Maxey, Markkanen, was it Jordan Poole or John Morant? Might have been both. I think Julius Randle got it once, making an all-star team. So that's essentially what it is.
I don't know. I feel like I was gonna put Tyler Hero on my list, but then I was like, he already was good. Like we already know what he can do, winning 6th man of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Putting up big numbers.
But now he's a starter, elevating his game, being the first option on this Miami Heat team. That's been
yeah.
to 2 they went to a finals without him because he was hurt. So now he's kind of carrying the team and he's playing really good basketball.
Yeah. Okay. It's fair.
Yeah, and
So-
JJ is a really good pick for third.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson is always going to be in that conversation until he makes an all-star team, which should be next year.
Yeah.
So expect more Jalen Johnson most improved player odds. If you want to make a futures bet for next year, he's a good person to kind of place the bets on. Also Cam Thomas. Don't forget my guy.
Nah.
So that is most improved player. We're going to get into the next one.
Let's go.
All right, I believe I am headlining the next one. It's 6th man of the year, and to me, these are the only 3 that have a shot winning this. We have Peyton Pritchard in first, DeAndre Hunter in second, and Ty Jerome in third. Thoughts?
Why do you say that they're the only guys that have a shot?
Well, because I know who you put first, and bro doesn't even.
I know.
Bro doesn't
I know,
come off
I
the
know,
bench anymore.
I know.
Oh, did he
Shut
put Malik
up.
Monk?
You'll see. You'll
Okay.
see.
What are you talking about?
So look, Peyton Pritchard obviously is single-handedly keeping that Celtics bench afloat. That's the only reason why
Shooting
they're-
30% from 3, though.
just in the last 7 games.
Oh, okay.
So as far as the entire season go, he's been a spark off the bench for them. DeAndre Hunter has completely resurrected his career this season.
Yep.
Keeping the Hawks afloat just in any game, especially in the NBA Cup. And Ty Jerome has been the biggest pleasant surprise in the NBA this year. So to me, those are the main sort of 3. There's really no other 6th men, in my opinion, right now that are producing as well. So let's get into Antoine's first. Let's save our reactions towards Gio's for the end because it's very blasphemous. But yeah, here you go.
That is the funniest shit I've seen all day. Yeah, me and Tyler, I forgot Ty, but Malik Beasley's been phenomenal off the bench for Detroit.
Doesn't he start though?
No, he's been bench guy.
Oh, okay.
For a little bit.
So read your top 3.
Yeah, so Peyton Pritchard is first. Hunter is second, like Tyler has. And then Malik Beasley in Detroit is third.
Yeah, he's been playing really good basketball. He's been shooting the lights out. But okay, I can't wait any longer. Please read your top 3. I just need you to explain yourself.
So listen.
Where the hell did you pull these 3 names out
Listen. Okay. So I got Russell Westbrook at number 1, Amen Thompson at number 2, and Santi Aldama at number 3.
Santi Aldama's not even doing
Santi Aldama is probably the most accurate pick on this list, considering the other 2 start. So like,
Wait, Amen starts?
because Jabari Smith Jr. got injured.
Oh,
Mean,
wait. But he's come off the bench most of the season.
Correct,
though, right?
yes.
most of the season, yeah.
So then-
but him and Russ have like a high percentage of games started.
Okay, wait. So do you have to have a certain amount?
Yeah, there is. I don't know what the amount is.
This is a
But
phenomenal
look, I'm expecting
list from Gio.
I'm expecting these guys to go back to the bench. Once Aaron Gordon is ready and 100% healthy,
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook should go back to the bench.
But he might not though.
I know. That's why it was a risky pick.
This
But
might like
wouldn't that be an awesome that would be so good for us.
It would be cool.
Get that 6th man, bro.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
We've gone from glazing to Schmeat riding at this point.
Yeah.
So, but look, we got to respect it, I guess.
Yeah. And I love Santi Aldama as a player.
Yeah.
I love him. So I had to put him
But
in
the
there.
fact that you didn't include Peyton Pritchard is
I don't
crazy.
Listen,
I don't really.
This is-
he's okay to me. Like he's nothing crazy to me.
That is a phenomenal list.
Yeah.
Thank you. I apprate you.
For the memes.
For the
No.
memes.
Everybody
I'm being dead serious.
It's for the culture.
Yes.
I'm being.
culture.
You think I'm joking here?
No, I don't think
I'm
you're
being
joking.
dead serious.
You being shadiest?
Rush should have been most improved over 6th man of the year, but okay.
That's a good. You know what?
That should have been most.
You might as well just change it up right now.
MVP?
Yeah. put him in
Two-time
there.
MVP? That is crazy. But yeah, I mean, power to you, I guess.
Yeah.
So, don't get me wrong. Russ is playing great basketball, but 6th man of the year when he's starting in the past 18 games.
All right, but look, he's gonna go back to the bench soon. Okay.
Okay, we'll see about
Yeah,
that.
that's his prediction. There
Okay,
you go.
fair enough. So that is 6th man of the year. Ready to get into the next one.
Yeah.
All right, I believe Gio is headlining this section. It's the Clutch Player of the Year, Gio. Tell me your top 3.
Yeah. So at number 1, I got Jokic. Number 2, I have DeMar DeRozan. And number 3, I have Anthony Edwards.
That Ant pick would have looked so good 2 weeks ago.
Really?
My man has been choking games in the fourth
Has he?
quarter.
Yeah.
It's the past 3 games and specifically, he's just
know.
made the wrong move.
Yeah, but all the other games before that, he's been super clutch though.
Yeah, no, I
Threes,
totally agree.
layups, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm considering that stuff.
That's understandable.
Yeah. I don't hate his list. I think I have Jokic in first as well.
I think we all do. So let's
Yeah.
get into ours. So Antoine, you could read yours.
Yeah, so I have Jokic in first, Darius Garland in second, and Jason Tatum in third.
And I have Nikola Jokic in first, Darius Garland in second, and Trae Young in third. I was this close to putting Norman Powell in third.
Ooh.
But Trae Young in the NBA Cup specifically, in all the games he's played in all the games he played in, from the groups to the knockouts,
Yeah.
he was just huge in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So it was hard to not put him in. And those games are regular season games.
Yeah.
So, and we all know Darius Garland's leading the clutch time field goal percentage, but when Nikola Jokic goes in takeover mode, there's no one better in the clutch.
Can't do anything about it.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
just gotta foul him and hope he misses the free throw, I guess. But it kind of is what it is. That was sort of a quicker one. There's not really a debate because this award really has no criteria because it is new.
Yeah.
So let's get into the penultimate award. It's the Coach of the Year. Antoine, I believe you're headlining this.
Of course.
Give me your top 3.
So this is Kenny A's award, of course. Ime made a huge jump from 28th on my coaching list
Yo,
to second.
28th is insane.
You know, I would love to say that I saw it coming. That is why I put him at 28th.
But you didn't.
Because he went from the bottom to the top. He flip-flopped. Anyway, I digress. And then Taylor Jenkins, of course, is third. I think those two West teams with Ime and Taylor, Mark Daigneault cannot win it again. So I'm putting the other guys that are successful, and that's Ime and Taylor.
I love how he said Mark Daigneault cannot win it again. And in our preseason predictions, he predicted Mark Daigneault to win.
Yes, yes.
There's a lot of contradictory information here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad list.
Yeah, it's
so let's
good.
get into ours. Gio, what do you got here?
I got Ime at number 1. I'm gonna stick with my pick from the beginning of the season.
Understandable.
I have Kenny A at 2 and Taylor Jenkins at 3.
All right. I have Kenny Atkinson at first. So my biggest blunder is bottling and picking Joe Mazzulla to win the award. I should have just stuck with my gut.
Yeah.
But I have Kenny Atkinson in first, Ime Udoka in second, and I've gone for Jamal Mosley in third.
I don't hate that. I
Purely-
think Jamal was very close.
Purely for the fact that the Magic are still good without their 3 best players. I don't know how the hell they've managed to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Good point.
for me, that was enough for me to put him up there.
Yeah.
Taylor Jenkins you can easily interchange the two of them, but Kenny Atkinson and Ime Udoka are the clear top 2. It's Kenny's to lose.
Yeah.
So, because 1 seed in the East with the Boston Celtics there is
Yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah.
Especially beating the Thunder at least once, and just they beat the Nuggets twice. So
Like I said before, I expect a huge Cavs regression. So
Okay.
coming
Okay.
soon, guys.
Okay.
you are an idiot, sir. But I as Antoine says, I transcend.
I
I
transcend.
transcend. Yeah.
So again, that was more of a simple one.
This is very straight to the point.
So let's get into the final award of the awards segment. It's Executive of the Year. So this is for the best general manager that makes the move that makes you successful. and I am headlining this one. So these are my picks. So I've gone for Trajan Langdon of the Detroit Pistons in first, Kobe Altman of the Cleveland Cavaliers in second, and Sam Presti in third for the OKC Thunder. Obviously, my reasoning behind these picks, the Pistons, I mean, it's his to lose. The Pistons have completely transformed their franchise within the span of a few months. Kobe Altman, what he did in Cleveland over the past few off seasons has really amounted to a lot of success. And Sam Presti getting Alex Caruso for no draft picks, very impressive.
Sam Presti's always going to finish top 3, I feel like.
Isn't it crazy how he's never won the award?
Really? I think he'll always be top 3.
Yeah, he's always just going to be consistently there.
Dang.
So that was mine. Let's get into yours. So let's start with you, Antoine. What do you got here?
Of course. What the hell? Is yours a joke?
No, go, bro.
Oh my God.
Langdon, of course, Tyler said it. When you go from 2 wins to 20 wins in the exact same year over the same amount of time, it's a really big improvement. Presti is second, and Zach Kleiman from the Grizzlies I put in third. I like your pick, Kobe Altman. I'm going off of Zach Kleiman because of his draft. Phenomenal draft. Mm-hmm. I think he did really good there. Kobe, of course, with all the signings, can easily get fit in there as well.
Right.
I just think the Grizzlies with that draft pick, with Wells winning Rookie of the Year potentially, and E-Day could be in that top 3 as well, is a win.
Right.
Massively. But
That's
yeah,
fair.
no qualms with me and Tyler. The only qualm I have is with fucking Gio.
Look, I got to tell you, bro. Read yours out, and I'll tell you what I need to say.
What did Leon Rose do?
All right, he's second in the odds, to be fair.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
So I got Sam Presti at number 1, Leon Rose at number 2, and Calvin Booth at number 3.
What the hell is for Russ?
Now listen.
Is it literally just because of Russ? Because, bro, I'm not even going to lie. Calvin Booth is like one of the highest odds to get fired in the offseason.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the Knicks
got Russ, bro.
The Knicks are a first-round burnout away from Leon Rose going out the door, too. So, hey, I need you to do some explanations
All right, so
for
look,
these three picks.
I got Sam Presti at number 1. He's finally going to get it, man. He's been in the top 3, like you guys have said, for the past, I don't know how many years, okay? Leon Rose. This is going to age well for Mr. Leon Rose.
The man that traded six first-round picks for a non-All-Star.
It's going to age well.
That is
He's going to get himself a
crazy.
championship. Maybe not this year, but it's coming soon.
But the award's about this year, though.
I know.
That's crazy.
But he made the deal this year, so. Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It'll age well.
It's okay. Okay.
And then Calvin Booth, for the simple fact that he got Russell Westbrook and just changed that team for the better.
This is an insane glaze.
Hey, look, Trajan Langdon, he can have it another year.
You have
but
no
this
shame,
is Calvin
sir.
Booth's year for number 3.
Okay. Fair enough, I suppose.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. Leon Rose. I just love how he sees all the warning signs with the Knicks. Already, he's been discounting them all season, yet he still thinks they're going to win.
No, I don't think they're going to win. Not this year, but I think the Celtics will win this year.
Okay, fair enough.
So
So yeah, that wraps up part 1.
I got you, bro. I got
Thank
your
you.
back.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
That wraps up part 1 of this NBA Awards. In the next segment, we're going to get into our all NBA teams, all rookie teams, and all defensive teams. So let's get into it. All right, into the final segment. It's time for our all NBA teams, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to do all NBA, first, second, third, all rookie, first, second, and then all defense, first, second, and then we're done. So this is the final segment of the show. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
All right, on the screen right now, you'll be able to see our other overlay, like I mentioned previously. We're going to get into our All-NBA first team first, work our way down, and each person will headline again. They'll read their 5. We'll debate it for a minute, and then we'll reveal the other 2 5s. So, Antoine, I believe you are headline. No, wait. I believe, Gio, you are headlining the first one. So, tell us your All-NBA first team.
All right, so I got SGA, Nikola Jokic, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Donovan Mitchell, rounding up my first team All-NBA.
And just for reference, guys, all of these are positionless, so we can put in whoever we want. There's no guard, forward, center. So you could have literally a lineup of 5 guards or
Which I
5
hate.
centers. Yeah, but it makes sense because the fact that Nikola Jokic in 2023 averaged a damn near triple-double and got All-NBA second team because Kendrick Perkins changed the narrative for MVP. So
I get it, but like it's kind of weird.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the Donovan Mitchell pick, considering you've been shitting on him all year. Why is he in your All NBA first team?
Good point. But I had to put him in there because he's the best player on the best team. Simply put. So I guess that's all NBA worthy. So
That's fair.
as of now,
Okay.
this will likely change according to my according to my predictions, this will likely change.
I can't wait for you to be wrong. It's going to be amazing. But I actually did not put Donovan Mitchell in my first team.
Good.
So
Good.
So yeah, I agree with the other four: SGA, Jokic, Tatum, Giannis. But let's get into me and Antoine. So Antoine, you want to read yours first?
Of course. We have Jokic, SGA, Giannis, KD, and Tatum.
The Kevin Durant pick is very interesting. Is there a reason?
He's a great player, but
I think it's one of his best seasons in a long time.
wow.
But I mean, that's true, I guess. But is that all NBA first team worthy?
Well, to be honest with you, the player I have here was LaMelo Ball, but I don't think he's going to get to that 65 game minimum.
Limit. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's totally
That's
understandable.
why I moved him up. He was second team originally.
Okay,
But if LaMelo gets to 65, he's replacing Durant.
okay,
Really?
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think Melo is a first team.
He's not first team. He'll get third.
Yeah.
Third or second is in play for LaMelo, but I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to play 65 games.
That's
no
the
way.
issue, yeah.
So for mine, I have Nikola Jokic, SGA, Giannis, Jason Tatum, and I've put Victor Wembanyama as
Already,
my
bro.
fifth player. He's fourth in MVP.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just such glaze, and I'm tired of it.
Okay, Russell Westbrook.
Listen,
You're calling
Russ is
him one
not.
of the-
And
You're calling one of the best players in the league right now.
Right now, I can confidently say Wemby's a top 7 player in the league right now.
oh my god,
You cannot tell me more than 7 players that are better than him.
I'll tell you 7 players right now.
All right, tell me.
Russell Westbrook.
Okay. That is wild.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
even.
I don't have many issues with either of your guys's.
Yeah.
I think they could that fifth spot. I think is a toss up.
Yeah, I think because the 3 MVP finalists, whether it's Jokic, SGA, Giannis, Tatum's definitely in there, and then it's really just a matter of, I think it's down right now between Wemby, Donovan Mitchell. I think really those are the main 2. I wouldn't say Kevin Durant's got a shot,
Oof.
but hey, you never know.
You never know, man.
You never know. Anything can happen, I suppose. But yeah, that's what we've gone for.
Yeah.
So do we have any other sort of qualms, thoughts, questions, concerns? All right.
Victor Glaze.
Victor Glaze. Bro, I'm telling you,
That's
you guys.
his new name, Victor Glaze.
Okay, Russell Glaze. Russell Glazebrook.
Can I get a Victor Glaze donut, please? Yeah, that's what you
That
said.
was so cringe.
Here we
That
go.
was so cringe.
That's what you said, bro.
Okay. But let's get into our All NBA second team. Antoine, you are headlining this section. So read off your 5 players.
This is where it gets a little tough. But I have Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson is insane.
The Jalen Brunson pick is crazy. I think right now,
3 bigs is pretty good, though.
I think at best he scrapes in third team.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson. But I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, Wemby's either tail end of first or he's high second team. Cat's having a great offensive season, so I don't really have an issue with that. The only issue I have is Jalen Brunson being in second team because I don't think he's had as good of a season as he did last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have an issue with this list besides the Brunson. Same as you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
All right. I see. I was fighting that pick too.
I mean, you're a Knicks fan, so it's okay.
I just
Be
think the
biased.
guys in the third. I could have put Cade there actually.
No, bro. Not second team.
No, usually most improved guys get third team because
Okay,
they're not
fair.
one of the best. See, they're just having a good year.
Yeah, I think that those 2 guys are like
Neck and neck.
exactly for second team.
Okay.
I
that's
think
fair.
I think they got it.
So let's get into ours then. Do you want to do yours first, Gio, or?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
All right, read
So
up your 5.
I got Trae Young, Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, Kevin Durant, and Evan Mobley.
Okay.
Interesting. No,
Yeah.
no cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I think Cat should be included in there, but
I don't.
I feel like these guys deserve it just as much.
Yeah.
So
That's true. They very well
Like
do.
I said, I think after first team it gets a lot harder.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
harder to choose players.
That's why I'm glad it's positionless now because more deserving players are going to get praised for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So instead, because it used to be only 3 centers got All NBA, now the centers dominate the sport right now. You could have 5 or 6 in there,
Yeah.
and it's easily there. So for mine, I've gone for Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards. This is where I have Donovan Mitchell. I have Karl Anthony Towns and Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
Tyler putting a Knicks player in second team. Whoa.
Yeah, wow.
Crazy.
You actually surprised me.
Nuts. Yeah, I mean, look, I can't deny the offensive leap Cat's having.
Yeah.
See, the only reason he's not in first team is because he's a cone. That's the only reason why. Because he is
Yeah.
top. He's right now third in the MVP ladder,
Wow.
Yeah.
which is crazy, by the way.
Yeah. He should
It's
definitely
nuts.
be at least second team for me then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
just New York bias, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but still, you
the
know.
writers have the bias towards the Lakers and the
They do.
Knicks. So kind of is what it is. Mobley deserves to be all NBA second team without
He
a
does.
doubt.
Okay.
He's having one hell of a season.
Yeah. I don't have any issues with these teams at all.
Yeah. So again,
Either
pretty
or.
straightforward as far as that goes. So ready to get into our third team.
Oh, this is where it gets really interesting.
All right, I am headlining this segment, so let's see where I put my guys. And this is where I wound up putting them. So I have Cade Cunningham, Damian Lillard, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Jaren Jackson Jr.
I love the JJJ pick here.
I told you last week he's playing at an all NBA level.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't have LeBron in any of my all NBA teams.
Really?
Interesting. Yeah.
LeBron James is still, I think
Still
he's
that
still
guy.
a top 10 player in the
Yeah.
league right
I
now.
don't.
Absolutely.
Hold on. I saw some guys that were playing a little better. I don't think I have him there. I remember not putting LeBron there.
That's fair.
I love LeBron. I just don't think this is one of his best years.
I would argue that it's one of his better post prime years. Outside
yeah.
of that little stretch of games where he was bad, he's really stepped it up and has been really big for the Lakers down the stretch of like key games. Do we have any other issues with any other
No.
placements for me?
No, I think
These
those
are
are
all worthy players.
Yeah, Cade, Dame, Durant, and Triple J, of course. Got it.
Yeah. So let's get into y'all's. Antoine, what do you got?
Oof. Cade Cunningham, Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker, and Tyrese Maxey.
I was
Are my
close to
five.
I was close to putting Devin Booker in, but the Suns are ass.
They're.
I just could. I know he's playing good right now, but
Yeah.
I need more of a sample size than just 8 games.
Fair
Those are all 5 guards. I just realized for my guys.
Yeah, like I said, it's positionless. You can do whatever you
Yeah.
want. So
That's crazy.
because your second team was big man heavy.
Yes.
So that's fair.
Yeah.
So what do you got for yours, Gio?
I have Anthony Davis, Darius Garland, LeBron James, Devin Booker, and Domantas Sabonis.
I love the Garland and Sabonis picks. This is the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
year, in my opinion, where Sabonis, I would not be mad if he got into All NBA.
Yeah. I think
Those
he
are
deserves
interesting.
it. Yeah.
He's having a good
think it's
year.
good.
And Darius Garland, I just couldn't find room for him, to be honest, because
Yeah, it's tough.
Damian Lillard's playing out of his
He
mind
is.
right now. It's
He
like
is.
he's honestly been very underrated this year, Damian Lillard.
Quiet.
So
Yeah.
Cooking, yeah.
Dame Dalla quietly cooking. So very interesting. I do the Fox. I don't know if he's going to play 65 games.
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah,
I probably would put LeBron in instead of Fox just to have him there.
I think that's honestly where LaMelo should go.
well, that either or, yeah.
Yeah, LaMelo
Yeah.
third or second team I think is fair enough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
or at least I would probably put LeBron in place of De'Aaron Fox, and then I would
Yeah.
replace Brunson with LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
That's probably what I would do. But
And then I would put Brunson instead of Maxey.
yeah, I mean Max
I
is
would-
playing good
I
right
would move
now,
Maxey
but
out.
I don't necessarily agree with the Maxi pick this year. If I'm being
yeah.
brutally honest, so
I agree.
Okay.
So yeah, do we have any sort of questions, comments, concerns, final thoughts on the All NBA?
No.
All right, let's get into our All Rookie teams. This is gonna be fun.
Ooh.
So All Rookie first team. I believe Gio's headlining this. So Gio, read off your All Rookie first team.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah,
Help us all.
I messed up a little bit here, but here I got Stephon Castle, Alex Sarr, Zach Edey, Dalton Connect, and Donovan Clingan.
I think
What do we think,
I
guys?
agree with 2 or 3 of those picks.
I'm gonna be honest. I only agree with the top 3. And that's literally
think
his
the
Rookie of
top
the Year
3 I
finalist.
agree with, yeah.
Because I saw someone tweeted about it last night. What happened to Dalton Connect?
Yeah.
Like Bros disappeared
Yes.
Yeah.
completely off of that late, like that
hot.
early season
He was
surge.
hot, yeah.
And Donovan Clingan, don't get me wrong, he's having a good year, but in my opinion, there's just rookies that are better right now.
Right.
So I think, I mean, obviously Castle, Sarr, and Edey right now are
Yeah.
locks along. I'm surprised you didn't put Jalen Wells in here.
Yeah, where's Jalen
That's
Wells?
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, I'm gonna out this kid. He texted me the thing so I could make the graphics. He called him Jordan Wells.
Yeah, I don't know much about the kid.
Come on, you gotta know about this kid.
That's
I don't
fair
watch
enough.
the Grizz, bro.
You gotta
Gotta
know.
watch the Grizz, bro. The grit and grind Grizz. But let's get into me and Antoine. So Antoine, read off yours.
Yeah, so Stephon Castle, Jalen Wells, Alex Sarr, Zach Edey, and Yves Missi.
That is the exact same 5 I have as well. So
Yes.
we are there.
Yeah. Yves Missi, I was talking about him in the preseason. You guys were saying he's young, but he's stepped in, and that center role in New Orleans is filled with him.
Yeah, he's playing a lot better than I thought he would.
Yeah.
But then again, the whole roster's like in the infirmary, so he was going to get an opportunity regardless. But look, he's playing good basketball. And then, my top 3 rookie of the year picks, and then Zach Edey is just Zach Edey. There's really nothing else. There's nothing much else to say. The rookie of the year is very straightforward this year, I think, as well as the all rookie teams. So now all rookie second team is where we could really get creative, let our imagination run wild.
Yeah.
So I believe I am headlining this one. No, I think Antoine is headlining this one.
Okay.
I'll remember when I click next on the graphic. So Antoine, read your all NBA rookie second team.
Wait. I thought I put Dalton Connect on here.
Nope, you did not.
Really?
Yep, you did not.
Who would you replace him with?
So read
Let me look.
Read. Well,
Hold on.
read your 5. We'll look at it off camera. So read your 5 so we don't leave the viewers in radio silence.
You are wrong, sir.
Did I fuck up? I think what you texted me was
Look
different.
at the screenshot.
Let me see. For all rookie second team, did you place him in there? Did I fuck up? I may have fucked up. Who am I gonna replace for the edit?
Look at the third one. At the bottom. He's at the very bottom under Zachary Sachet.
Oopsies. So just read off your picks and replace the guy that I accidentally put with Connect.
Yes. So Tristan Da Silva, who's doing phenomenal, I think, for Orlando, filling in for those injuries. Zachary Sachet, of course. He's injured right now, but he's going to be phenomenal. Ryan Dunn, Bub Carrington, and Tyler has Donovan Clingan here, but it's actually Dalton Connect.
Yes, my bad. I'll take responsibility.
So that's my second team.
I still don't think. I think Donovan Clingan's more worthy than Dalton Connect right now, just based off.
I think-
Connect going ghost mode in the last 2 months.
Yeah. I mean, you could keep him there. I'm fine with changing that. Connect was the last guy on that list, and I just had to choose one.
That's fair.
You could keep Clingan there because Connect has fallen off.
That's fair, but I'll keep Connect. I'll keep Connect in because that was your original pick.
That's fine.
So let's get into ours. So Gio, read off yours.
So I got Jalen Wells in the second team.
I accidentally put Donovan Clingan on here twice for Gio.
Then I got Zachary Richard, Matas Buzelis, Bub Carrington, and Donovan Clingan. I know.
Buzelis has been in the G League the whole year.
Listen.
What are you doing?
Listen, bro. I just like Matas, bro.
You have Clingan for first and second team? That's a first.
No, I actually don't. I think it was a typo.
It's a typo.
Yeah, it's a typo.
Who's the fifth one he has?
I don't know.
No, because he fucked up. Because when he sent me the stuff, he left off Zach Edey from his first team, and he put him as a finalist
did?
for Rookie of the Year.
What are you
Yeah.
doing, bro?
Bro, I don't watch these guys, bro.
You should. You're
Should I, though?
a journalist.
Yeah, a journalist is crazy.
I think that's you, to be honest.
You're a journalist.
A
that's you.
journalist.
Speaking because I have a journalist degree,
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yes.
Yeah. What did I
Buzelis
send you,
is
Tyler?
so
Oh, because
funny.
Gio put Jared McCain in his first team, and he's not going to be eligible.
Oh,
yeah,
he's
McCain
not?
is not
No.
eligible. Yeah,
So that's fair.
injuries.
Freaky.
He would have been.
So yeah, well, I'll fix it in the edit. There'll be a different player on the screen
Yeah,
to
of
sort that
course.
out. As for myself, I've gone for Tristan Da Silva, Zachary Richard, Ryan Dunn, Bub Carrington, and Donovan Clingan.
Tyler and I had 10 out of 10 picks correct. Or 9 out of 10.
We had the exact same actually.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I think Clingan connector like this. It just depends
Yeah,
who plays better.
That's
A little
very
bit,
fair.
I think.
wouldn't be the floor spacer without some sort of typos here and there.
That's it.
It is what it is.
Yeah, man.
So let's get into our final awards, the all defensive teams. This is where our imagination can kind of run wild here. So I believe I'm headlining the first team, and then we'll close it off with Gio highlighting the second team. So we're ready to get into it.
Yeah, let's
do it.
go.
All right. Here is my all defensive first team. So obviously I have my 3 DPOY finalists, Victor Wembanyama, Dyson Daniels, Evan Mobley. I've gone for Lou Dort, and then I put Jaren Jackson Jr. as my 5th player.
I love the Lou Dort here.
Yeah, I mean, the torture chamber is real.
Yeah.
So
Listen,
I had a real tough time with that 5th spot. I wound up going with Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
I will say this is probably the toughest time I've had with defensive team because I forgot some guys, but I was like, oh, wait, I got to maneuver these teams. But those 5 guys were definitely in my conversation for both teams.
Yeah,
I think I left out Lou Dort on both teams.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That
which
is
I
wild.
shouldn't have,
hard, yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think I left him out on both teams. I don't remember.
That's
I think
fair.
I did.
Well, let's get into yours. So, Antoine, read off your all-defensive first team.
I did. So Victor Wembanyama, of course, Anthony Davis, and Mobley. Those are my top 3. SGA and Jalen Suggs.
So you put SGA, his teammate, in there instead of Lou Dort.
SGA right now is top 3 in defensive rating on the year.
Is he?
I mean, defensive rating doesn't tell the whole story of a defender.
Yeah.
I look more at the advanced metrics. Obviously, because you look at steals and blocks, you could look at defensive win shares, defensive box plus minus. SGA is also up there because he's the best player.
He's a
on the
good
team.
defender, yeah.
He's a good defender, yeah. But I think Lou Dort on just a daily basis is just a much better defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think
He's
it's
usually guarding the best guard
Exactly.
or even forward on the other team. So
fair. Usually J-Dub's guarding the best forward or Chet when he's healthy. So.
Yeah.
Do you want to read George Gio?
yeah, so I got Victor Wemby, and then I got Evan Mobley, Dyson Daniels, Lou Dort, and Giannis.
Damn, so
Okay.
Antoine left out both Dort and Dyson from
Dyson's
his
second
first
team.
team.
Dyson is second team.
No, he is first team. He is 1,000%
Wow. Okay.
first team.
All right.
So as far as Giannis is fair. Giannis is always going to be in those conversations.
Yeah.
And Jalen Suggs, I like the Jalen Suggs pick.
Yeah.
Not my personal choice to be in first team, but I vibe with it. So that's fair enough. So let's get into our all defensive second team. Gio, read yours off.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. What the
listen,
hell
bro.
is this?
This dude, keep in mind, this dude had the nerve.
Where's Russ's defensive
Yo,
team?
shut up, bro.
This dude had the nerve to say I was glazing calling Wemby a top 7 player.
Listen. Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Jalen Suggs is on my second team. Jaren Jackson Jr. and OG Anunoby.
Were you not listening to me when I said OG Anunoby right now is playing awful?
Well, that's on the offensive side of the ball.
No, he's playing a
No,
little awful.
he's playing
Both
bad on
sides?
both ends.
Playing
yeah.
bad.
Okay.
He
Well,
looks
to
a
me,
little-
he's still a good defender
Well, of
in my
course.
heart of hearts.
Russell
But Russell Westbrook, let me explain,
Oh,
okay? Because
okay.
this is probably an unpopular opinion here.
Understatement of the year.
But Russell Westbrook has actually been huge for the Nuggets on the defensive side of the ball this year. If you have been watching, okay? I don't know if you guys watch ball, but
Oh, we do.
okay.
I watched. Trust me, KCP was great on the defensive end last year.
Oh, KCP
but
is good.
did not make all defensive.
Okay, but look, listen, Russ, he deserves it. Okay, he's never gone an all defensive team, all defensive, award team, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So this is the year he gets it. He's really focusing in on defense. He's not jumping passing lanes as much. He's being smarter when it comes to that, and overall, he's just locking in more. So
Okay. Power to you, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that. The other 4 picks I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Russ is a crazy shout. I didn't think a starter would get 6th man of the year and all defensive like that. It's crazy. So let's just rapidly move on to ours. Antoine, read off your all defensive second team.
Yeah. All right. So I got Dyson Daniels, Dylan Brooks, J-Dub, Triple J, and Şengün.
interesting.
Looking at this list, I probably should have taken out Dylan Brooks for Lou Dort.
I would take off
But
Şengün for
I
Lou
agree
Dort.
with
Şengün?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I would take out Şengün and put in Lou Dort.
I'm fine with that.
Bro, I'm gonna need you to stand on business, bro.
No, because Şengün's offensive. I don't know why I put him in there.
Yeah.
He always changes up his picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
takes
J-Dub, Brooks, Dyson, Triple J, I'm set. Şengün, I think I put in there because I think the Rockets' defense right now is one of the best, and I put him and Brooks in there for those reasons.
If you're gonna put a
put Ahmed
rocket in there, you got to
Thompson
put a man. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A man's
Yeah.
been locking guys down.
Well, Dylan Brooks, too.
That's fair. Yeah,
Both best year.
Dylan Brooks is locked in this
Put
year.
2 Rockets in there.
Yeah.
2 Rockets
Wow.
in there. Interesting.
Yeah.
So let me tell you mine. So I have Rudy Gobert, SGA, Jalen Williams, Chris Dunn,
Interesting.
and Draymond Green.
I like the Chris Dunn pick.
Chris Dunn has been so slept
Really?
on this year on the defensive end. He has been, as far as 3-and-D goes, he's been one of the best as far as just productivity. And, when you talk about the Clippers, you think, obviously, Harden's there. Norman Powell stepped up. It's the role guys like Chris Dunn that's really making a difference. And I think he's deserving of it this year.
What happened to Terrence Mann? That makes me think
Oh,
of Terrence.
Lord.
Terrence
Fell
Mann is
off.
allergic to buckets.
That's insane.
Fell
Yeah,
off.
he's going to get traded at some point.
That's so sad.
Fell
But
off.
yeah,
He was like on the rise, and then all of a sudden, done.
it is what it is. But But yeah, as far as the rest goes, SGA and J-Dub, obviously both really good defensive players. And then both Draymond and Rudy, when their teams are playing good, they're a huge factor defensively because they're utilizing them in the long game. Like, rather than having them go box out on a three, they'll just run straight down the court. That way they're utilized more in transition. So I find it really smart from both Steve Kerr and Chris Finch. I know you don't like Rudy Gobert, but he's a good defender. There's no two ways about it. No, you're mid.
He's mid.
He's a better defender than Russell Westbrook. So I don't know.
Cap.
I don't know what to tell you for that.
Dunked on Gobert. I don't care.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, he won more DPOYs than Russ.
Rudy Gobert is tied for the most DPOYs in NBA history.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So
Keyword history. He's not defensive anymore. That was in the history, bro.
Okay.
just look at Cat defensively this season compared to last year when he was hiding behind Rudy Gobert. He looked a lot better, didn't he?
Bro, he's just playing out of position. That's all it is.
No, because Cat was drafted as a center.
Once Mitch comes back, he'll be fine.
I will love to see that happen
say.
because
That
it's
will be
not
fine
going to.
once he comes back.
Okay, you keep thinking that. But I was close to putting Jared Allen on there.
Yeah.
Very close to.
I think he deserves it, yeah.
But I couldn't really figure out a spot to put him, to be
Over
honest
Gobert.
with you. No. No, I
I
can't.
think that's pretty straightforward.
No, Rudy Gobert deserves it.
I don't have Rudy in my list.
Good.
That's right.
Good.
You don't.
You're a smart guy.
I also don't have Russell Westbrook in my list. So
I don't have Russ on my list
Okay.
either. I'm sorry.
You guys don't know ball. It's okay.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that. But yeah, that is essentially the all defensive teams. Guys, do we have any final thoughts, comments, concerns regarding the all teams?
Gio is forbidden from doing award predictions.
Yeah, low-key, I'm kind of on board with that. Could we just ban him?
I'm so upset you don't know about Jalen Wells. They're going to flame you in the comments.
It's okay. I'll take it.
He's going to get casual comments.
But no, your picks are out there. I'm not,
high-key
and they're
casual.
not bad players.
Who?
The guys that you've been choosing for
You
these
see
teams.
what I'm saying?
They're not
Like-
bad, but they're just not. They're not it right now.
Listen.
They're struggling.
The guys that I pick, they're kind of like the oddballs, But
Yes,
I pick
they
them
are.
because they're the misfits. I'm kind of like, I got to go for the guys. that
Triple
are
J's a misfit. So is Jalen Suggs.
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. I also just realized I think I left Anthony Davis out of my all defensive team.
You did.
Oh, well.
Guys, flame him in
That's
the chat, please.
unfortunate.
Flame Tyler in the chat.
Nah, bro, we're chilling. We're good.
Is that it? That's the last thing?
That's it. Yeah, that brings us to the end of episode number 41 of the
Wow.
Floor Spacer podcast. It's a longer episode this week. It's probably going to go over 2 hours, but we're trying to get these under 2 hours. But with the next couple episodes are going to be longer as we get into the thick of the season and everything like that. But Gio, you know what time it is. That point in the video. What are the people still with the flow comment at home?
Comment.
Oof.
What do we do, guys?
I don't know.
Comment down. I don't know why I'm thinking of Ozempic.
We're not commenting.
You want to lose weight?
No, I don't know why they just popped
Just
in my head.
first word that comes to your mind.
Was Ozempic.
No, like an actual word.
Okay.
First word. Don't think. Just say it.
Plant.
Plant. Comment plant.
Yeah.
That is the perfect word.
Comment down plant.
All right. The Suns are planting their seed to get Jimmy Butler.
There you go.
There you go. So obviously, if Jimmy Butler does get traded tomorrow, we will have an emergency episode for you guys, just talking specifically about the trade, the ins and outs, grading it, and everything like that. So obviously, we'll do that. We're also going to teach Gio how to use the trade machine because next week is going to be our trade deadline special. We're going to be giving you guys one trade for almost every team, basically all the buyers. And we're going to make one singular trade each. We'll divvy it between however many teams, between the three of us. And we'll cook up one trade. We'll talk about it, everything like that. And then we'll obviously, just if anything else happens, we'll be on the lookout for it. Basically, whatever goes down in the news, you can find it here on the Floor Spacer podcast. So if you guys did enjoy today's episode, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're trying to get to 5K by our 1-year anniversary, just under 2 months to get us there. Hit the bell, that way you're notified every time we upload. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, answer the polls, leave a review. Follow us on our socials at Floor Spacer Pod on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Follow our personal socials down on the screen. Get Gio to 1 million Instagram followers. And lads, do we have anything to say before we head on out of here for the week? All right.
Deuces.
Well,
That's it.
we hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly. And we'll see you all next week in episode 42. Peace out.